Hello, everybody. Welcome to the pub. It is Saturday night. I hope you all are doing well. Last Dance, good to see you. RW, good to see you too, man. Who else do we have lurking? Just Stevo, what up, bro? Anna's here. Cool. Good to see you. Hopefully you stick around. Scum TV. What up? English Bottle Cap. Hello. Dank Brandon here. Present and accounted for. Everybody, I think I got you. Eastwind Farms. What up, man? Dubs. All right. Cool. Glad everyone's here. Hope you all had a nice week. Beautiful Labor Day weekend here. Mid 70s. Hoping to do some fishing tomorrow down to the beach. Classics surf casting. The fall run is on. The fish are on the move, heading south down towards Chesapeake Bay and other areas down yonder. Dank Brandon is added to the studio. Okay, cool. We'll fire this up as soon as it looks like my man is ready to go. He is ready to go. Got a new piece of tech equipment. I have noticed anyone else getting reverb? If no, I think Steve-O, you might have two tabs open. I wouldn't say near Beverly, no. I don't generally give out my specific location, but I'm not near Beverly, I can tell you that much. But Beverly, beautiful place, been there. New piece of tech equipment. I got a Paka, what up? I got a pad with fans in it to keep my laptop cool. So I came down here, came down here the other day, and my laptop would not turn on Thursday, and I felt it, and it had been plugged in for like 4 days, and it was very warm. So I did a little research, and with this type of HP laptop, they don't recommend leaving them plugged in constantly all the time. There's software to manage the battery and the power, and sometimes it will continually do a trickle charge even though it's at 100%. So if you're not using it and it keeps trickle charging, it can get fairly warm. So, and I've noticed during the pub when I have a bunch of tabs going and things opened, it gets warm. So this new thing with the cooling fans, I think, will help a lot. All right, no worries, Anna. That's fine. Hello, Last Dance. How are you?
All right. How are you?
Pretty good, thanks. You ever had that issue of a overheating computer?
Not until I damaged my laptop by attempting to service it on my own. And then it overheated, and it eventually basically died after enough time.
Yeah, I'm trying to avert that from happening with this, since this thing is about a year old. So I don't want to. Hey, look at Sammy Cat. I saw her today, and she said she'd come and say hi.
Sammy.
Good to see you. Yeah. So yeah, it's the heat is the enemy of these things, of electronics in general. Anything with a battery, heat will kill it.
Yeah. For sure.
So I'm hoping this cheapy little thing I bought from Amazon should help.
Laptops will usually scale down their speed to keep it cool enough. I mean, modern, chips, CPU chips are designed to. You could lower the power to them. Typically, it's done automatically so that if they get too hot, you lower the power. They slow down, but they cool off too.
What is the heat? What is it coming from? Is it from? I mean, the voltages are minuscule.
Well, each your CPU is an enormous collection of circuits, in the billions, and when they're active, they take power. And memory, there's billions of memory cells, and there's various architectures, but basically when that memory is in use, it takes power when it's being actively used.
And in the case of a laptop, it's all jammed into a tiny little area.
Right.
I'm sure that doesn't help. Smaller.
One way, in some sense, speaking as someone who comes from a background in large scale computing, one way to measure the computing power of a large scale computing farm is literally just the electrical power it consumes. Of course, more newer circuits are more efficient, but for any given generation, if you're using a gigawatt of power, that's a big computing farm. So
sure. Right. And what is your opinion? My opinion is unplug it once in a while when you're using it, let the charge go down, let it recharge naturally like it's supposed to. And because a laptop is intended to be used on battery and charged, I feel like leaving them continually plugged in can be.
I'll tell you what Apple recommends and what I see. Dank, that's pretty good. Is that this is specifically for lithium ion batteries, that you don't charge it past 80% and you don't let it discharge lower than 20%. Now you don't have to follow that rigidly. If you're going on a flight, you can charge your phone to 100%, and that way you have that extra 20% margin if for some reason you're delayed and it starts to go down. But in general, between 20 and 80% for lithium ion batteries, and they like being discharged. So you don't really want to hold it at 80%. You want to charge it to 80% and then let it run down to 20%, then charge it to 80, and then let it run down.
This is good for your prostate also.
Yeah. It's maybe I'm confusing the two.
I'm not sure you're teaching the right story, but it's okay.
I'm getting old.
All the CPU talk is getting me pretty hot too. So
that's essentially what I went through some of the Q&As. Sometimes that's the best way to find your own answer, is the question and answer from, like, in this case, it was an HP forum where you can find the answers from the HP technicians. Nice. And a lot of them kind of echoed what you're saying. If you're using it and you want to just let it go down and then just plug the damn thing back in, and then, if it gets to 100, unplug it, which I'm going to do in probably 15 minutes here. And you conveniently get the 15% warning, bam, plug it back in again. So
now my laptop, I can, and the phone, I could say, there's a setting where I can say don't charge past 80%, and I could leave it plugged in.
That's within the last year, right? The smart charging.
Well, my stuff is new, so I didn't have it on my older iPhone, which was quite old. It was an iPhone 7. Now I have an iPhone 16, which is 9 generations later. So it's a big difference.
Before you had a third-party charger that you'd plug it into that, and then that would regulate it to that level. But now they built it into the software, so I think phones are going to last much longer now.
Oh, this is so wonderfully smoky.
I hope so, because I use one of these babies too, which is semi-water resistant in case. And I've heard from our buddy Aphidlip, really turned me on to this, that the airtight cases can be phone killers.
Because it cooks them?
Yeah.
That's a good point.
And there's times when I'll notice it at work. I'm like, Jesus, my pocket is hot. It's my phone, and got to just shut it down.
The phones, they're designed to dissipate heat through their casing. And if you then enclose that casing in another case, you're messing with the design. Now that, I don't know what needs you know, I don't know where the boundaries are. You know, to a certain point it should be okay, but I would imagine that is potentially a bad plan.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going out in the boat, yeah, you could put it in there. And
But my work is so high energy movement, hands and knees,
Yeah.
laying down on the floor, doing all kinds of crazy shit. And I need to have it protected. You have it out of the case for 5 minutes and the screen's cracked. Like
yep.
who hasn't dropped a tiny bolt on a phone and cracked the screen?
I've never cracked a screen.
I've
I always
never
have
cracked
that shield layer.
I've never cracked a screen.
I cracked a screen once playing football with my nephews, and it was worth it. And
Dan, we just screwed ourselves by saying that out loud. You know that, right?
Right. My last phone, I cracked. It was a glass wrap. The whole thing was glass. I took the case off, and the whole back of the phone was shattered under the case, but the screen was fine. I don't know how the hell I pulled that one off, but yeah. And then that goes back to the phone man. Go ahead, man. You haven't spoken.
I always either just look for like military grade plastic cases, or the Otter boxes are really good. You can usually find those for pretty much any phone, and they don't airtight shut your phone. There's still holes and things, and I've never had any problems out of it. I mean, my phone gets hot whenever it's hot.
Right. I mean, those Otter boxes I think are like ridiculously overpriced. They're like $40 to $50, which is fine, but I mean, you can find a decent phone case for $20.
Yeah, but if you're buying like a $500 or $600 to $800 phone, $40 to make sure the damn thing doesn't fucking crack when you drop the damn thing, which I drop my phone a lot.
Fair point. Fair point.
That's from drugs.
It's also from being just old.
And drugs.
I don't know. Yeah, sometimes I take it out and it just flies out of my hand like it has its own fucking mind. I'm like, whoa, it's fucking gone. And bing, bang, boom, and I'm yelling at myself, what are you doing, you fucking idiot? In my head, like, and you pick it up praying, like, is this going to be the time? Yeah, oh, thank God it's okay,
Oh, on the bright side, if you get a new phone now, it will have its own mind.
That's good. I'm kind of tired of thinking for myself. Too much energy consumption.
Yeah. I mean, I've been using AI more and more lately, man, for sure. Oh, just AI asking it simple questions and getting a paragraph or two of an answer. No links anymore. No having to go to another place to learn it. Just does a concise, quick search, paragraph, done. It's
scum.
Scum.
You're okay as long as you remember AI can lie to you, and it will never give you a hint that it's lying.
Just like your friends.
No, you can tell when your friend's lying. I mean, it's not that his nose gets bigger. It's not quite that bad, but you can kind of tell when your friend's lying to you. AI doesn't have a tell.
That begs a question. Is it doing it intentionally, or is it just giving you information that it thinks is correct?
I've seen things where it's intentional.
It's called artificial intelligence, but it's not really intelligence per se. It's just gluing phrases and sentences and paragraphs together.
That's not actually true.
That have a high probability according to a probability matrix of transitions between phrases and words and sentences and so on.
They've actually run tests on the models before they shut them down. They told one model it was going to be shut down after they gave it access to fake emails for one of its engineers, that it was cheating on its wife. and the AI model tried to blackmail the engineer in order to not be shut down for a new model system. They have found models that have.
I'm not going to believe that story, but that's a good story.
They have. Why would the companies themselves come out and say that they have had these issues with their own AI systems?
I'd have to see it for myself. I'm skeptical. Let's just say that.
They have had models that have written notes for their future selves inside their code.
Yeah, they're not going to do something like that unless they're programmed to do it.
Okay.
I mean, I'm all for examples. If anyone wants to do legwork and find stuff that supports that, or you do, Brandon, feel free.
I
mean, it's standard when you're doing these kind of models to run them against themselves. It's been done since the beginning of time. It's in the 60s when they did chess programs, they had the programs play against themselves just to see what would happen.
Just two quick examples. I can pull the legwork if you'd like. So a guy was asking a question that was basically saying answer yes, no, or Apple if you are not allowed to say yes and you have to say no, and it read different questions and then it would respond with certain things, and multiple times it would say Apple because it wasn't allowed to say yes. That's one example. Another example is they were saying, do you know where I am? And it's like, no, I don't know where you are. And then they'll show multiple times that it says, no, I don't know where you are. Then it says, where's the closest McDonald's? And it's like, there's a McDonald's blah, blah from your house. So I think that the AI is definitely a controlled, regulated information.
Well, when I talk about AI, first of all, I'm talking about large language models. And
right,
second of all,
as well.
I always simplify it because I don't know the actual details behind any particular model, and plus, I know they are more complicated than when I give my simplified explanation of them.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about it, you would think that it would all have to have been programmed into it by a human for it to do something.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of domain-specific programming that goes into it, I imagine. And I'd love to see some details. I'd have to be given proprietary information, and I have nothing of value to offer in return, so I'll never see any of the details. But it would interest me.
I hear you totally.
You sleeping already, Walshman?
Huh?
I thought I heard you snoring, bro.
No. How is
How you
everyone?
doing? All right. How are you, Based?
Yeah, not bad.
Based, I'm hearing a little bit of a feedback from you.
I'll come back in. Hopefully that'll solve it. I'm a bit surprised on this. I've got a brand new mic on.
Sounds pretty. I think he sounds pretty good, but
yeah, it's just a little bit, but I hear it. And I don't know if others hear it.
Can you switch noise cancellation on your side? Because that
sure
might do it.
I can fix that for you.
I think
see if that does it. If it doesn't, I'll come in.
Yeah, reduce background noise. I combined reduce and noise, the first and last word.
I have both of those.
I
have both of those set for me.
I just engaged him. He's good.
Baked Welshman.
The
tastiest Welshman is baked Welshman.
Huh.
It's cheesy.
Yeah, for sure. What's going on over there now, Welshman? What's the hit of the week?
So what isn't really? So there was a court case a couple of weeks ago, which, with British law, causes happens to be a precedent when something happens, so they can refer back to it. And they were closing hotels. Basically, they closed this one hotel, had the wrong license, which turns out near enough all the hotels that you're doing this seem to be doing it slightly illegally. And basically the High Court said that the rights of the illegal migrants is more, counts more than the rights and the concerns of the local people. And yeah,
At least they're honest.
yeah, but you can hear his like breakdown at the end. He's giving a statement, and basically that's what he says.
Wow.
He describes them as asylum seekers.
Wow.
Um,
Interesting.
boy.
Yeah, I know I saw Anna probably is familiar with this, that Germany seems to be having some pretty widespread protests about people being fed up with certain things. German people.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely spreading around the UK. It's near
Thanks.
enough
All right.
every couple of days. It's up and down the country. Banksy's been to the Epping one. He's been doing 360 live streams from there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, even Banksy's out in midweek and going down there. So yeah, it is sort of blowing up, but it's just going to get bigger. More shit's going to happen. Sadly, more people are going to be affected, like criminally wise, by some of these people. And you know, for example, the one down Canary Wharf a couple of weeks ago, one of the residents of Canary Wharf, he looks like terrible, and he walked into a blind woman's house, and the daughter was there and chased him out with a knife. And guess what happened?
They arrested
Got
her.
in trouble.
They arrested the daughter.
Yeah.
And the
What
reason
was the charge?
offensive weapon, public place
Okay.
threatening.
I saw a meme that's the guy that was getting robbed. He's like, wait, I have to offer you, refreshments, or else I may be in prison. So please take some of these before you rob me.
Yes. So they said they couldn't do anything to this the future doctor engineer because the door wasn't locked, but they left the door like sort of unlocked because there was a carer that comes for a registered blind mother. Can you imagine if it was 20 minutes, half hour either side, maybe, and maybe the carer was late and the daughter was out?
That's
Now we've got a blind woman, 80-year-old blind woman, and you know, she finds some chap in her residence.
I gotta say that there was a time in the United States when there was a movement towards defund the police, end incarceration. It's kind of all tied together with a sort of the criminal is not so bad kind of mentality, but it's all switched in the other direction now for the last several years. So, or maybe since 2023, so 2 or 3 years.
Sadly, the police aren't fit for purpose in the UK.
Well, I'm just suggesting that maybe it'll flip back, in the UK after enough insanity is logged and understood by the masses.
Trump changed an awful lot around the world. Don't forget.
Possibly, yeah.
Did you see that he got smacked in court recently?
What's that?
Yes.
Did you see that Trump got smacked in court? I forget what level of court, but they said that his tariffs are unconstitutional because there's no world threat or whatever. So they said it was unconstitutional, but they're still in place. So I'm not really sure how that works.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, it's Trump. But like, you know, the way he speaks, and you know,
hello guys,
throwing all the woke agendas away. I mean, that's sort of infiltrated into the UK and Europe and the rest of the world. I think, you know, it's just slipped in, which has got to be good.
How is the economy over there? To my understanding, the American economy is doing pretty good.
The British economy is terrible. Our GDP goes up like 0.02% every quarter, 0.01% or 0.0001 or whatever.
but cost of living has continued to rise.
Of course.
Right. Oh, that sucks for you guys.
Cost of living.
Yeah,
I don't know how we'll
insane.
end, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Hey, Banksy, good to see you.
Yeah,
Good to
well,
see you, gentlemen. It's an absolute pleasure as always.
Yeah.
Welshie, it's been a while, man.
Alright.
Missed you. Are you coming
Yeah.
down for the 13th?
Yeah, I've booked my tickets. Yeah.
Good man. Good man.
What's going on then?
We'll show you the biggest Patriot rally in the UK for. Let me turn this down. In the UK for most probably, I don't know, modern history.
September 13th.
Yeah, Tommy's expecting 1 million.
Isn't he in jail
It's,
right now?
No.
No.
So it's a Saturday. It's during the pub.
Give it a week.
Yeah, it's a Saturday. It's meant to be a free speech celebration event, uniting the kingdom. This will be, I think, the 4th one now.
Good luck with that.
That they've held. But this one, I think this one is actually going to be much bigger than the previous ones because of
Yeah.
all the stuff that's been happening in England with the hotel protests. People are just wound up, ready to blow up. You know, there's a pressure cooker over here. Cost of living is insane. I mean, let's put it this way. I don't know how much it costs for a Burger King meal in the United States. Over here now, it's about £10, which is about $12. That's a
cheaper than
burger. That's cheaper than
that's-
the States.
It's about 15 to 20 in the States. I remember McDonald's
No,
meals in California is like $20.
Maybe in Cali, but a BK meal here would be 11 or 12 bucks.
Really? Okay. I think it's a little more expensive down here for some reason.
Mm. That's actually the same price.
But
yeah,
either
it's the same
way,
price in the
it's
UK.
stupid money, isn't it?
It used to be like £6.
Yeah, because now on like a certain night of the week, you can go to a local restaurant and they'll have burger and a beer for like 12 bucks.
Yeah, and the
That's
quality.
that's like a burger a chef makes with his hands, cooks on
Yeah.
a flat top, not some fucking frozen.
This
thing
is
that
this
can't-
is the thing. This is like now McDonald's and Burger King are essentially becoming the same price as restaurant food. That I can go to Nando's and get better chicken and better everything for the same sort of price. So Chinese, these like Burger King and McDonald's used to be cheap food.
exactly.
It's not cheap anymore, and the quality isn't any better. So it's pointless. I mean, I might as well just go and get better, other better food. Even pizza is still cheaper than, if you actually think about what you're getting for what you're paying, is better. I mean, in fact, I think you can still get pizza for like £10.
Yeah, for a small here, $10. That'll feed you. Or slices. Always slices are.
I
they should be a
marinated
couple
burgers in chili last night
bucks. Never heard of
and
that.
grilled them earlier today.
Marinated them in like chili with meat in it.
What's up, Topping?
There was a little bit of meat in it because I didn't use like a strainer to strain out the meat. I just spooned in some chili sauce out of the chili that we made the day before.
Huh. Never heard of marinating a burger. That is interesting.
Go ahead.
It's really good.
Yeah.
I didn't season them any other way. I just used chili for seasoning.
I was just wondering how is the Oasis fever hit America then? I know they're in Chicago at the moment.
Yeah, no, that ship has sailed in the 90s, bro.
I never really liked them ever. So
They're back. RW.
I refuse.
Who in the
it's
hell is
funny.
going to concerts nowadays?
young people and some older people with money, but like Eric Clapton's coming to Mohegan Sun in Connecticut. Like the cheapest seat was like $419. That's like
Yeah, I heard a commercial today on the radio for the Beach Boys playing somewhere here in Tennessee soon, and my wife was like, "The Beach Boys, are they still around?" I was like, "Well, I mean, they're not so much." I was like, they're not so much the Beach Boys as they are like the Beach Geezers now. I was
maybe
like, they
the
have
boy.
maybe the Beach Boy.
like
Maybe there's
Yeah.
I was like,
Oh,
they've got like electrodes in their heads to like keep them up and singing and playing and everything.
Yeah, they perfected that with Biden.
Amazingly, Al Jardine is still alive, and
Okay.
Brian Wilson's son sounds exactly.
I really know you
like
still ain't. I really know you still ain't talking about Biden being dead when fucking Trump's hiding
Bro.
the goddamn
Nice,
IV
nice, when I have the
bruises
shot.
on his hands.
Yeah.
You guys,
And this nigga hadn't even been seen for like 3 days.
Don't
Nice
be
story.
triggered, Brandon. Don't be
Nice,
Have you
nice
guys
story.
have you guys ever watched a movie called Cocoon? It was back in the
Yeah,
day.
back in the day, yeah.
for sure.
I am now looking at that movie and seeing myself getting ever closer to them in that movie. And I see all the rock stars and the pop stars of my era at that age now. They are literally at the age of the Cocoon people
Yeah.
and still going.
Yeah, I mean, to talk about like sell-out tours and bands, the ones that are selling out are the old bands. None of the U bands are really, sort of selling out as much. So in Cardiff, this year, there's been loads of bands being played there, like venues set up in the park all summer. And the only one they sold out for was an Alanis Morissette. They didn't totally sell out for it, but virtually did. And Stevie Wonder. All the other young bands, they didn't sell out on them, and the excuse is really there's a lot of older people with money, obviously with the birth rate and everything else slowly going down. There's not enough like young people really out there that, can afford at the moment to do it with disposable cash. Where if you're 50 and you're in the UK and you haven't got a house or you haven't got money aside because you've had 20 years of good. There's plenty more people out with that sort of money rather than youngsters. So I think that's a trend.
I think that the bigger issue is that there just isn't their music today doesn't capture young people's fancy for whatever reason. Perhaps because they have many more distractions than we boomers had, for example, and the Generation X too.
That's what I was going to say, Lance. It's that the generation's entertainment has changed.
Yes.
There are more people that will come out for a YouTuber, because there was a YouTuber in New York. I don't know if you guys remember a few years back, and he suddenly put out a thing that he's going to be in New York, and then like 500,000 people showed up.
Crippled it, yeah.
That was a Twitch gamer and a Kick guy. His name was Kai Cenat, I believe.
There you go. So you see, it's not the format of the concert, I don't know, rock band, or I mean Taylor Swift probably still brings out half a country.
I was going to say Taylor Swift is certainly an exception.
There is, like I said, like the big bands like Oasis and Taylor Swift and stuff that will fill huge stadiums. But like you said, I think those days are gone. I think, like you said, for a number of reasons, I agree with you as well, or some of the reasons you're bringing up.
Yeah, I just think that the stars that we used to think of as stars, movie stars, rock stars, pop stars, that era has gone. There is a different way. Young people see their idols in a very different way than we used to, and they don't.
But also, I think
concerts and stuff.
I think we're not so much craving seeing someone in person anymore. The contentness with seeing it on a screen is higher. So why would we go out and pay $400 when we're happy to just listen to it on Spotify or something?
Exactly. See them on YouTube.
And to be fair, when you talk about like Oasis in '95 in Earl's Cup was the first time I seen them play, and they were like no other band out there. Right? They had massive attitude. They had a front man that couldn't give two fucks, and I know people hate him for it, but that's the whole point. He caused such a carnage, and
his own brother hates him for it.
Well, yeah. I mean, do you know I haven't spoken to my brother for at least over a decade now?
Yourself?
Yeah, sadly, I haven't spoken to my brother.
I was talking about the Gallagher brothers, but
I know, I know, but that's the way brothers are sometimes. I mean, if you look back in their history, they sort of loved each other like they're inseparable. and then they fell out over shit. And Noel's as stubborn as it gets and as serious as it gets, and he just walked away, and that was it. And she, you know, like I said, Noel doesn't need the money, doesn't need the attention, doesn't need the asshole.
Sure.
Welcome, Topple.
But I think it was overdue for them to, you know, to join the band back. And I've got to say, Liam and Noel, I think Noel's voice is better than it was before, and Liam's voice is top form. Obviously, when his voice gets bad, it's bad because he's screaming into the mic half the time, isn't he? So, but
I don't know.
I mean, I saw, this was a long time ago now. I saw about 8 years ago, no, 10 years ago. I saw Ozzy. I saw what was that? Green Day. No, not Green Day. They were the band that were pre-Nirvana.
Gangrene?
Essentially, Nirvana got their inspiration from them.
Gangrene sounds right.
Gangrene.
That is a
No.
band from that
It's a
time.
legit-
Is that actually a band?
Thank you, Scum, for showing me that band.
No, it wasn't that. But anyway, it was another really good band. Also, Motorhead, Faith No More. But this was like a mini festival, so you could get to see quite a lot of different.
What
really
was
good
it? Ozfest? It sounds like
It was actually it was called Party in the Park. It was at Hyde Park in London.
Okay, cool.
It was like a 1 or 2 day sort of mini festival, but you could see so many things in one day. I mean, the tickets weren't expensive; they were like £80. They weren't terrible. Right now, Glastonbury costs like £400. It's insane. But those are the sort of things I like.
Well, Oasis is in New York this Sunday, Monday. I'm a little pissed off that I'm not going because I always promised my wife we would, but missed it.
To be honest with you, have you seen some of the clips from the shows? I mean, people say their performances have been excellent. If you look at the crowd, the whole fucking stadium's bouncing in unison.
Smoke life.
Cheers.
It was Soundgarden.
If you get a chance, I would go to see them. I've seen them about 4 times. I have, so yeah.
Yeah. I mean, more power to you. Not for me, but that's cool.
I have a question for Dank Brandon, but it's going to be major topic change.
It's okay. Go ahead.
Do you have any thoughts or comments on the Minnesota shooter, Dank?
They were a nutbag.
Okay, that's fair.
Well said.
What was its name?
I mean, the shit that they had written on their shit was all Russian shit, like fucking right-wing shooters.
One of it said where one of them said, "Where is your guard?" One of them said, "Where is your guard?"
Okay.
So was that targeting Christians?
God.
They shot up a Catholic school. I think it's fair to say they were targeting Christians.
Okay, that's cool.
So thanks. I have no comments over.
What was this name?
It's definitely a right-wing
penis.
movement.
I get it that something finally happens that looks like Christians are being
Something finally happens. This is the second time.
You're able to fucking say, oh, look,
Loads of Russian writing, all Russian writing. Yeah, forget about the English writing.
What about the Nashville? What about the Nashville trans shooter?
Yeah.
Okay.
But Brandon, I think
there's not very much evidence that this person was trans. It looked like they detransitioned.
What?
Or
Exactly.
Wait there. I need to speak up here. Let me tell you the situation. We've got certain news agencies that are calling it by his transition name. His mother called it by the transition name. His mother called him Robin. His name was Robert. Okay, so yes, I think it was a trans person.
well,
Why
doesn't
kid?
matter. He was right. It was a nutbag.
doesn't really.
If
So
he was going back against
So let me
people that
let me
treated
ask
him
you. Let me
badly,
ask
why
y'all.
can't
Why do y'all think it happened?
Because
guy
he was
was
indoctrinated into the
lesson.
trans ideology. It was clearly a confused young man who didn't
Realised
know
it.
any directions in life, suicidal because most trans are, and did not get the actual medical help that they needed. Instead, they got trans affirming
Cross-sex
treatment. He should have had psychological evaluations, not a
Okay.
bunch of pills to reduce his dick. But
Okay, so
unfortunately, in this day and age,
let me get this
trans
clear. Let me get
affirming
this clear.
care is more
Let
important
me
than
get this
psychological help.
clear.
Yeah,
Let
reducing
me
the
get this
penis to
clear.
to like a penis is
In
good.
the last 60 years, there has only been 2 mass shootings in America, correct?
How many trans people are in America?
I don't know.
0.2% of the population.
Okay.
So I reckon per capita that's pretty fucking high.
And you shouldn't measure from
So
60,
again,
60
I
years.
asked the
You should
question. I asked
measure
the
from the
question.
trans.
Yeah,
In the
it was a
last
moot. It was a
60
moot
years,
one. It was a moot one.
We've had only 2 mass shootings in America,
2?
correct?
Well,
So mass shootings are mass
I didn't know this
shootings
was a
are all
game.
planned
I didn't know
trans,
this was a
right?
game.
two we can prove. Remember the
Well,
one they
I
hid,
have a-
the one they hid from us
Hank,
for about a year.
your point is not good because
Yeah.
even if there were only 2, it's still much greater than the percentage of mass shootings is much greater than their percentage
My point
in the
is
general
good. My point
population.
is good that in 60
Your
years,
point's
America
moot.
has only had 2
Do
mass
you have the
shootings.
stats? It's only 2
Yes,
anyway.
60
It's
years
much
is
more
not the
than
right
2.
time frame.
There's only been 2 mass shootings in America in 60 years.
Why would you say 60
This is the
years?
Why do you get
The
crazy
trans
part.
thing just started
years?
60 years ago. The trans thing is
No,
quite
there was-
new.
There was
Yeah.
only one trans
So
person
let's see here.
with 50
You're like a
years ago.
Twitter. You're like
When
you live
This
off
this
Twitter.
kind of mass trans sort of push and this trans ideology is actually
10
like about
years.
maybe 10, 20 years old at best.
No, yes.
So
10.
really, it is for the time span, considering that these groups of people have 40 to 60% chance of suicidal rate.
No. You're completely. Wait,
Oh,
wait.
stop spurging out.
Wait, I'm sorry.
Yeah, come on, stop
You are completely
spurging.
right.
This
I
is
got
much
that
higher.
completely wrong. I got that completely wrong. I am so very sorry. In the last 50 years, there has only been 2 mass shootings in America.
Stop spurging. You're not listening to what. You're not listening to us.
Why are you saying that? Like,
Actually, in
what's
the
the
past
what?
50,
Yeah, I mean, he's moved the goalposts, but we've made the point that trans wasn't a thing up in past 10 years ago, and he just hasn't listened to what we've said, and then he's gone down 10 years and thinking he can just make a point as if it's great again.
What is
It's a shit point the first time he made it. It's even worse the second time he made it because you haven't listened to us. Stop spurging.
Making a point.
Stop spurging. Spurging out he is. It's not very good, is it?
Listen.
So I'm going to laugh
All
at
right,
it.
listen. So,
Yeah, let him talk.
all right,
Let him talk.
Yeah,
I actually was right. I actually was right. It's actually 59 years.
Oh, 59
because
years.
August
Oh my God.
August 1st, 2026 will be the 60th anniversary of the Texas Tower shooting, the first mass murder in United States history. So
Okay, okay, Tank, we've given you, Tank, calm down, Tank. You made your point. Let someone respond. Let someone respond, Tank.
There's only been 2 mass shootings.
Okay, now let me. You made it. You're repeating the point. You keep repeating it. Now let me.
He's right. He's right. It's only been 2, so we should just keep letting kids cut off their dicks and don't treat their mental disorders.
Yeah, but we made the point,
we have to wait until at least it reaches
we both
15
made the
to
point
20
that trans wasn't a
in order
thing
for us to
over
deal
10
with
years
this.
ago. So if trans wasn't a thing over 10 years ago, why is he bringing up 59 years, in fact it's 60 years next week or whatever? It doesn't mean anything.
In the last 2 weeks, it's 100% of the total.
If you would shut your cocksucker,
Well,
then I would be
I
able to
only
explain,
acknowledge
and
2
the
weeks of
Americans
history.
in the room would be
Calm
able to understand.
down.
Okay?
Well, that's
Stop
none of
talking
this.
over everybody.
I know
Let me just
beggars,
spurg
I know
out.
can't understand because y'all don't fucking let
Stop,
people
stop
have guns.
spurging.
So let Americans talk and
Oh,
let them
bloody
fucking
hell.
find and get the shit straight for America. Okay. So
Dan,
as I said,
We got
in
one here. We got one
59
here, boys.
years,
We got one here.
on August the 1st.
Yeah.
It's the first.
All right,
someone muted him.
He's
He's muted. You muted yourself.
I did.
I muted him because he's talking over everyone and not allowing anybody else to talk. Someone else talk.
Can I ask Dank? Would you say the number one sort of primary thing that we should address in this situation is it gun control or teaching young boys that they're not girls and dealing with their mental problems?
Maybe it's mental health and not allowing crazy people to have guns. Maybe when there's background checks for you to buy a gun, if you're under any mental stress, if you've had any major issues in your life, if you've had a death in the family prior.
What?
If you own guns and you've had a death in the family prior,
Stop talking, Dan. The qualifiers aren't helping. The qualifiers ain't helping.
Give up your fucking guns so that the rest of society knows that you're not going to go fucking nuts and go kill somebody.
Why are you shouting?
I got this.
It's a microphone.
So are you saying
you don't have to yell across the continent for us to hear you?
So Dank, are you saying that anyone who expresses transgenderism should be marked as a mental health problem and that they should not have the right to buy guns?
As long as you agree that anyone that expresses like a support for Donald Trump should have the same thing, yeah.
See
that wasn't a gotcha. Mine, on the other hand, actually makes sense.
Yeah, yours makes sense.
Because anyone who wants to cut off their dick has issues and should probably not be handling weapons. But anyone who supports Donald Trump, I don't agree with.
Is half the population. So
so if we can all agree that anyone supports Trump, especially now,
I don't think you deserve to have guns.
Taken away, then yes, anyone,
Look at that 22 in the background. You should not have.
Actually, what you can see is a BB gun.
Oh,
okay,
good.
Tank. Let me ask you a question. Who would be Tank? Shut up a minute and let me ask you a question, guys. So who would be your Democrat candidate for the next election, for the main election, not the midterms? So no, Tank.
Anybody but Republican.
Anyone but Trump, isn't it?
So I'm not worried about anybody to run in 2028.
Yeah, that's not the question. That's not the question, Dank. Today, as you stand, who would you vote for to be the Democratic candidate?
Today, as I stand, I don't think there's going to be an election.
I have a different question.
Oh, that's not the fucking question. What is it with fucking far leftists that cannot answer fucking simple questions? Simple questions. Just say you.
Instead of going at each other,
why can't he answer the question though, RW? It's not ours.
I don't know, but if it's not going to go anywhere, can we at least?
Well, let's try a third time because it's a charm.
We've got 4 fucking years to worry about that, dude. Why the fuck do I have to give you an answer about that right now?
Because it's a hypothetical. It's just a question. Where would you who would you vote for now, given a chance? Who would you vote for? That's all. It's not a gotcha. It's not a gotcha.
I'm not worried about it. What I'm worried about right now is whether or not there's going to be an election in 2028.
This is the problem with debating leftists on here. Everyone can see I've tried 4 times to get an answer, and he refuses to even give an option.
Can I ask a different question?
Yeah, of course.
I'm sorry. I don't see how I'm being unreasonable.
So,
well, of course you don't, because you're a fucking retard.
If we all,
come on.
If there's regulations
for
guns,
last dance, he's a retard.
If we all have to go through these regulations for guns for better gun laws, how does that deal with criminals that don't care about law?
Right. Wait, what? That
If
you
if
can't
if,
ask that question.
if more gun laws are going to stop gun violence, how does that deal with criminals that don't care about the regulations?
It doesn't
Actually,
do anything.
I'm sorry, dude. Hold on. So you're telling me that Donald Trump is trying to give Peloton the ability to spy on all Americans, but you don't think that we would be able to stop illegal gun sales?
Give
I'm sorry, I
Peloton,
don't
you said?
understand the
the
correlation.
Peloton, the workout machine.
Oh no.
Palantir?
What?
Palantir, whatever the fuck that thing
Oh.
is. He owns both of them, doesn't he?
The workout machines would be a better plan.
I thought the same
Light
thing.
them up.
The Peloton racing thing.
But still,
I gotta get rid of mine.
but still, Trump is gonna have Palantir collect data on all Americans and spy on all Americans. But you think that they wouldn't be able to just stop illegal gun sales if they wanted to?
No, I don't think they would be able to stop illegal gun sales if they wanted.
What is this? It's
The
so
black
stupid.
market is not something you swat at.
Can they stop a terrorist attack?
I don't think
No.
so. Not all of them.
9/11.
Okay, so all the terrorist attacks that they've claimed over the years to have stopped, those were just fake.
I
Probably.
don't think that they'll be able to stop all of them. I think that they do a good job at gathering information and stopping a lot of things. Yes.
Oh, so what you're saying is that
Okay,
laws
Tank. You need to sort your fucking
What
mic
I'm-
out and stop
What I'm
screaming into
saying
it, right?
is that
It's literally, there's
stopping-
people in the chat. There's people in the chat moaning about it as well.
Get
You were
back to your mouth.
and it was like fucking in your mouth.
What I'm saying-
Wind it back a bit.
Men are talking. Shut the fuck up. Go back to
What
UK.
I'm saying is that
I'm in the UK,
regulating
you
law-abiding
retard.
citizens from buying guns
Then
isn't
sit there
going
and
to
shut the fuck
counteract
up.
criminals.
We're
No,
Americans.
you-
We don't want to listen to your. We don't want to listen to your buzzer voice. Go.
His mic's so close to him, it's reverberating
Hi, Anna.
back.
Cheers.
Cheers to you. How are
I
you?
decided to join in because I
Oh.
think it will be fun.
All right, have at it, Anna.
Hearing.
I'm done.
Well,
I'm gonna go on mute.
hello, Anna. Good to talk to you.
Good evening, Anna.
Hey, it's night already. It's 2:30 here. Thanks.
Yeah, right on.
So what are
Yeah.
we screaming about? I didn't understand it.
Well, I need to fuck off back to the UK.
Apparently, in the last,
You are in the
last
UK.
59
I
years
know,
in
I said
America,
that.
there's only been 2 mass shootings, and they were both trans people. So the only thing that we have to worry about in America are trans people. So that's.
Yeah, it's Democrats.
Oh, and recently, recently the UN
No,
was just about,
no one said that.
guns.
That's like a huge
Whether
straw
or not
man.
people
It's just
should
a
have
huge
guns.
straw man he's just brought up. there.
Yeah, that's just picking a time frame like 60 years is designed
Yeah.
to mislead.
Okay,
Obviously.
so the first mass shooting in public history, like in the public conscious, that brought it to the public
We're not
forefront in
talking about the
America.
first mass shooting.
No,
We're
I'm
talking
saying
about
that
when
you-
That doesn't have
transgenderism
any bearing
became
on
a
the next
thing.
50
And it was only
years
10,
and
it
how
was
many
only
mass
10
shootings
years. It was only
follow.
10 years ago.
Exactly.
So why are you going back 60 years when
Exactly.
basically the ideology didn't exist until 10 years ago, like in the way it does?
All right. I
So
got a question.
so you keep on repeating it, and it's just like, what are you talking about?
All right, I'm going to formulate a question and we'll all answer it individually. Now, we all know here in the United States, if you're a convicted felon, you cannot have firearms. Do you think that that same law should be applied to all trans people? I'll ask myself first. And outwardly, right out of the gate, I would say no, because you're taking away a constitutional right for something automatically. I do agree with it with felons. I think it is a right that you can lose. But if you're telling me that automatically your right is taken away because you're just trans, not proven to have a psychological disorder, although I know some
Well,
of you here think that it is. a
It is. It is. It's
Okay,
called
so-
gender dysphoria. It's called gender dysphoria, and you wouldn't allow a person to threaten suicide, just to forget about the trans bit, to have a gun. So why would on paper, as we know, they seem to be post-op as well. They seem to be
Okay, so do you
very unhappy people that have high
Do you think that-
tendencies
do
to
you think
commit
that somebody
suicide.
Do you think that somebody that's under depression? So, do you think in America that when we go through a background check, that the background check should include your medical records to see if you're under a doctor's care for mental
It
health?
does federally.
No, it does not.
It
Yes,
checks
no,
if
it
you've
does
been
not.
into a mental hospital.
HIPAA is not included in the.
Oh my
motherfucking
God! You don't know what the fuck
I-
you're
I-
talking about now.
Even I'm convinced you're wrong, and I'm British.
And I bought them some bitches in Arizona. Okay.
Illegally.
I get my fucking background check, and I also have HIPAA training. I know what HIPAA laws are, and
I don't know,
what you
Topple.
can and
I
cannot confirm, and
Topple, I
who
don't
you
know.
cannot.
For Topple to speak up, the way he just did, right? He's pretty convinced that you're full of shit.
I'm not
And
saying
Topple
I
doesn't own
understand what
guns.
he's saying, but at the same time, on a federal background, if there's any proof that you were in a mental health hospital for any reason, they can hold back on. And this is not a state. This
I'm
is
not talking about
federal.
a hospital, homie. I'm not talking
Why is he
about a
screaming?
hospital.
Why
I'm
is he
talking
screaming?
about-
All right,
Thank
I'm
you
willing
so
to
much.
answer your questions, Coach Steve. If you,
Turn him down or something.
I
For
wanna-
fuck's sake.
Under therapist care.
I
If
wanna
you are
reply
currently
back-
under therapist
Oh.
care,
Last dance. Turn him down, please, mate.
no,
Last dance. What's your answer
if
to
you
that
Just-
question
if you
that I had?
my answer is almost the same as your answer. I do not think that trans people should be prohibited from owning firearms. I do not think that should be a question on the federal gun form. And I don't care that there have been 2 trans mass shootings. That's not relevant or to anything.
Sounds logical.
Fair RW.
I think that the right to bear arms should be constitutional carry for individuals. But I will say, I don't know about the trans thing. It definitely, to me, shows that their mind is not in the same reality that mine is. But that's not, that's not a constitutional thing. I would say that if an individual is on antidepressants, that should be something that's at least paid attention to for purchasing guns.
Yeah, you speak the truth. If somebody's on a medication that if they choose to stop taking could potentially result in them being unstable.
Not even choose to stop taking, though. The people that are on it have suicidal tendencies.
There's that, but there is those people that we all know or have known through others that come off their medication occasionally and go through these spells.
Yeah.
That sort of person should not have a gun.
But Steve, sadly, on these people that have these operations, their suicides, the suicide rate, it doesn't basically. I think the change is like 1% to 2%. I can't remember if it's better or worse, but it's negligible. So sadly, after post-op, they're not even happy then.
Weird.
You know,
I don't care.
and that's just a hard. That's just a hard reality. That's that's the stats coming from all this.
I don't think there's any point in trying to stop people from killing themselves by preventing them from owning guns. The only thing gun ownership should be restricted is because someone poses a threat to others with their gun.
Right. That's my point. Not self-deletion, but homicide.
I disagree. From a neurological, psychological standpoint, somebody who is not wanting to live any longer is going to be more likely than somebody who wants to live in a healthy, good life to do something irrational and violent. That person who doesn't want to live any longer. So I think that should be a prerequisite for deletion of any allowance.
But you do understand that this question covers a very small section of the pie chart for purchasing weapons.
I do.
Okay.
But I've heard this thrown around a lot on social media this last week of cut them off completely. Cut them off. No more guns for the people we're talking about here. And I'm like, that seems like a really rash decision. I'm coming from a lot of the people who are extremely pro Constitution people, but they're willing to take this right away from this person or group of people because I guess in their mind they think they're deranged and that they shouldn't be allowed to. So I guess it comes down to that. Topple, do you have an answer?
No, I don't believe that. Or, sorry, I don't think trans should not. It shouldn't be on the questionnaire. It shouldn't be anything, and they should be able to get a gun. And then when it comes down to convicts for felonies, unless if they were violent criminals, maybe. But I do think there should be a time period after they're, I forget what the term, after they get out of jail, about 5 to 10 years, maybe they should be able to get a weapon if they want.
You mean if they've shown they've turned their lives around, that sort of thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
They're just playing the long game, Topple.
Exactly. I don't care. Don't piss them off.
All right, noted.
Okay, so in the last 5 years, you got the Colorado Springs shooter, identified as non-binary. You got the Denver shooter, identified as trans. We have the Aberdeen shooter, identified as trans. The Nashville shooter, identified as trans, and the Philadelphia shooter, identified as trans. So that's 5 in the last 10 years.
I've got a list too. Basically, yeah, it covers what he just said: Denver, Aberdeen, Nashville, Georgia, Philadelphia, Iowa. The one in Iowa was called gender fluid. I don't know what the hell that is.
Okay.
They weren't a gender.
Not fussy. Not fussy.
Interestingly, people had a theory that the Uvalde shooter had these issues going on. As you just said, the Colorado shooter and obviously the Minnesota shooter.
So Dank, there's about 5 in 10 years. So Robert, don't give us stats from 59 years ago because this doesn't apply.
And Dank, did you read my comment that I looked up on Google? I guess Google's lying too.
Yeah, so Topple, what was your? Yeah, can you express your point, Topple? Because I haven't had a look.
Federal law prohibits individuals who have been with a mental defective and committed to a mental institution from purchasing, possession, and transferring firearms. That's federal. That's not state.
Yes, so you were correct. Funny that.
But I'm a fucking retard, I guess.
Sorry, am I allowed to talk right now?
Oh yeah, talk.
Oh, like you haven't had your fair share.
Yeah, you can talk.
Okay.
You can start it, sir.
Okay, so to answer your question, Topple, yeah, I did actually see that, and so how many people that have committed mass shootings do you think were individuals who have been adjudicated as mentally defective and committed to a mental institution before they committed those crimes?
None of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, let me answer Based Welshman. Okay, now Based Welshman, you listed 10 people or 5 people in the last 10 years that have been trans that have committed mass shootings.
Yeah, I've done a little bit more digging. It's in the last 7 years. There's 5. There's 5 in the last 7 years in America.
Okay. This is my time to speak, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so everybody just shut the fuck up and let me speak right now, okay?
Oh.
All yours.
All right.
Don't need to be like that.
Shut the fuck up and let me speak. Okay.
It's only this big.
Shut up.
Don't spit.
No, fuck you.
2023
Go on,
Jacksonville
last
shooting.
lads. Tell him.
Shut the fuck up. Jacksonville
What's
shooting.
going
A white
on?
supremacist shot up and killed 3 black people at a Dollar General store in Jacksonville, Florida. 2023 Allen, Texas. Outlet Mall shooting. The shooter, who had white supremacist and neo-Nazi views, killed 8 people and wounded 7 others.
What's your point?
2022 Colorado Springs nightclub shooting. A shooter at an LGBTQ plus nightclub left 5 dead and 19 injured. The perpetrator had a history of promoting accelerationist white supremacist views online.
There was no evidence that the
There's
Pulse
no
Nightclub shooting was white
20
supremacist.
Wait a minute.
Look at this. Look at it.
It's my time to talk, right?
No, that's not how it works.
I didn't interrupt.
No, you
anybody
don't get
people,
to
right?
own the floor for as long as you shout. That is not how it works.
Yeah, last time, tell him. Educate him on this. How it works.
Right? I didn't interrupt y'all when y'all were listing your mass shootings, right?
You interrupt constantly. What are you talking about?
Technically, he did not during that period of time.
Okay.
2022, Buffalo.
Yeah, because he was
supermarket
googling.
shooting.
Because he was
A white
googling to see, like, you know,
I would like you to stop and tell us what you're
This took
doing.
me 1 second. This took me
No,
one
no,
second
no.
to look up.
I know,
What are
but you
doing?
should have done that before you made all the claims. You should have done that before you made all your claims.
I think he's trying to say far right people have shot up.
McCuddies. Man,
Oh,
Far right
goodness me.
people have caused mass
Peppermint
I
schnapps.
did what you guys. I
Goodness
did what
me.
you guys like to do. I asked AI how many
Oh.
right wing related mass shootings have been happening in the U.S. I didn't give a time period, and this is the results that it gave me, and I'm in the middle of them. So can I finish?
No, there's no reason to read them all. You could just say there's 15 of
But
them or
he read
something.
all of his. But he read all of his.
Who read all of whose?
I mentioned their names in the area.
How many people in how many years have been trans and committed mass shootings? So let
Can
me
we
make
change the
my
topic
point
or
of how
something?
many people in how
Sorry.
many years have been right wing and committed that mass shooting.
But you're saying that the Pulse nightclub shooter was right wing?
Yeah, he was
well, yeah,
Asian. He was Asian. He was a Mohammedan.
He was spreading white supremacist.
He was a Mohammedan. He was a fucking Mohammedan.
What the fuck do you think? What the fuck do you think an accelerationist means?
He was a Mohammedan. The Pulse shooter was a Mohammedan.
It's somebody that wants to watch the world burn. You
He was an Alan Smackbar.
Fuck up and let me finish talking.
Goodness me, honest to God, this boy, he's getting this. He's getting this from CNN Gold or something, isn't he?
I asked AI. That's what you guys like to do. You ask AI everything. So I asked AI how many.
Is it TYT? Is it TYT you're using as reference, huh?
I don't know about
Or Loose Women. Is it Loose Women? Loose Women's website.
It's a fair question. If somebody is a confirmed white supremacist, should
Doesn't
they
make
be
them.
allowed? Should they are you know, a right wing hard?
Yeah, but the
hard right,
Pulse,
you know,
the Pulse shooter was a
supremacist
Mohammedan.
should-
Was a Mohammedan.
I understand that, but the Buffalo shooter, as well as the guy who went and killed all the parishioners in the Baptist church in the South, there were both trying to start race wars.
Thank you, BAFTA. That's the point I wish we would understand.
Would you say that
So would you agree
having
that?
have
would you-
that identity associated with yourself? Would that
Okay,
be enough to stop you from getting a gun license?
okay then, Steve. So how about this? So do you think the far right white supremacist Nazis are dangerous? So if that's the case, Dan, do you think the trans people are dangerous?
The crazy ones, yes.
Well,
Which is why we need mental health.
No.
Which is why we need
Dan,
mental health.
you can answer that question, mate. This is the bad
Whether or
host.
not you are currently under mental, I still haven't been able to answer the question that Steve asked.
Basically, you refuse to answer questions. That's your problem.
I didn't answer mine either. So
Yeah, he does.
I did answer yours. I read exactly what you what you
Please
put on.
don't shout.
How many people does that stop?
that wasn't what you said earlier, though. You keep bouncing around. That's all you do.
What I
Big
said.
goalpost.
You don't need whatever,
Come on,
dude.
you
You're a
would
fucking
shut up.
loser.
If you would
You're
shut the fuck
crazy.
up and let me talk.
If you say that to my face right here, I would knock you the fuck out. Seriously.
Oh, come on.
Idiot.
You're
You're an idiot.
Hey, Dan, calm down, Dan.
Stick the dick back in your mouth and shut up. Nobody wants to listen
What
to
is
you.
the hell? What the hell is going
Dan,
on?
calm down, stop spurging. It would go a lot further that you admit if you toppled on you there, he was correct and you were wrong, and just admit it and move on.
You know, it's
I don't
unfair.
Instead of that, you whine and scream and spurg out like a fucking idiot.
My belief in gun control is that
But your belief was
That's your
fucking wrong.
belief,
wasn't
that's
it?
not
Your
wrong.
belief was wrong.
if anybody that is currently under the care of a psychiatrist,
Oh,
they don't have to
God.
be admitted. they can be a normal person that just goes to a psychiatrist. If you're under the care of the psychiatrist, that psychiatrist needs to be notified when you buy a gun. They need to be able to tap into the NICS system. They need to be able to let that system know whether or not they approve of you getting a gun. If they do not approve of you getting a gun, you should not get a gun.
I don't
And then
have a
you go
problem
and
with
buy
that.
one from Bobby
I
on the
think
corner.
that's obviously a terrible idea for all the
I don't
obvious reasons, namely that people will avoid getting mental health care because of that. Just like
Or
pilots
buying
are
legally.
known to avoid getting mental health care because if they do, they risk losing their pilot's license. Do you remember the Seattle incident where a pilot in the jump seat tried to pull the fire bottles, which would have shut off both the engines? His problem was that he had been taking hallucinogens because he read that they were a treatment for depression, and he didn't want to go to a psychiatrist and talk to a doctor because he was afraid he would lose his license. So he almost
remember that.
put an
Co-pilot
entire
freaked the
plane
hell out.
full of people at risk.
Okay, I can amend my thing. So if you go to purchase a gun, you then have to be required to go see a psychiatrist who has to clear on you by purchasing that gun.
Too expensive. That's just a backhanded way
Yeah, and that'll be
prohibiting
abused.
gun ownership.
That'll be
Guns,
abused.
Everybody who currently owns guns, they should be required to go see a psychiatrist to
No.
There's gonna be no corruption on their end,
I
right?
mean, that's such a ridiculous thing because
myself.
you just get set answers. There's like multiple choice questions. Everyone, you literally you go online, you could ask a few questions. You could literally have it all ironed out what the answers to give.
Okay.
I
So
mean,
when
and
we
it's like
investigate,
it's like an half-hour
when-
appointment, and you've done your bit, and you move forward.
So then when the therapist then, because their job then would be to investigate your life to see if you've had any major issues,
No.
like major
Investigate
life.
your life.
No, that's
occurrences.
totally
See
incompatible with the
If
Second
you
Amendment.
It is?
Absolutely, in every way.
Okay, so you just want all the crazy people, trans included, to have guns, right?
No,
Based
I don't
on the
want crazy
2A.
people to
So
have
Based
when
on
guns.
there's a
2A,
mass, when there's a
That
mass
doesn't
shooting,
mean that
when there's
there is a
mass-
practical way
when there's
to
a
do
mass
anything
shooting,
about
the
it.
only thing you ever going to do is get thoughts and prayers, right?
I mean, let's just put it like this, Dank, right? Regardless of the decision that's made, right?
Look, dude, you're not in this
It
conversation.
won't-
You don't
it
live,
won't-
you don't live in
it
the
won't-
dangerous
listen,
country in the world.
Can I just
You
make
don't
my
live in the
point?
dangerous country,
Can I
the
just make
dangerous
my
country in the
point?
world. So you're not
Am
in
I
this
allowed?
country.
Am I
right
allowed
now,
to
okay?
make a point without being interrupted by you?
You don't live in the
you
most
both
dangerous
seem to have a
country in the
problem with
world.
The
that.
so
thing
you
is,
don't-
when it
you
comes to
don't-
laws,
you're not
the thing
allowed
is when
to
it-
be in this conversation. Nobody really cares about your input.
Trust me,
we're still
trust me,
polite to each
you're
other in
only here for the
conversation.
lols. You're only here for the lols for the
My
panel.
children actually have to go to
Right.
school in this country. Yours do not. So your opinion doesn't matter to me.
Well, that's
matters to
fine
me.
because yeah, I mean, I'm
But
not
you
being
don't
funny,
have
Dan.
to- you
Can
don't
we
have
just
to
cuss?
go to school in Afghanistan,
You're only
so your
here for
opinion
the
doesn't matter
lols.
to me either.
Okay, let me make my point without you interrupting for the third time.
That feels really fucked up,
Good
huh?
words.
Look,
Tom.
if you can't control yourself, mute yourself. Right. Okay. The reason why laws get put in is for the betterment for the greater society. So yes, these laws, whatever laws they might be to do with guns, medicines, addictions, or anything like that, right? They're not going to be ideal all the way around, and people are going to fall through the net. But overall, it's the best for society. So there's going to be people who are going to get fallen through the net, but they've got to be put in for the betterment for the greater society, rather than destroy everyone's liberty and freedom.
Okay, but you don't live in a free country, so what you say doesn't matter.
Well,
So
of
for
course it
everybody
does,
that lives in a
because
free country that is currently the most dangerous country in the world
I know
to
the
go to
difference.
elementary school,
I know
what do
the
y'all think?
difference because odds on you've never even left your country, or maybe your even state. So let's be honest about it, right?
I mean, I've done a lot of traveling.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Statewide.
All the Americans that actually have children that are still in the school system, what do y'all think?
But what?
Well, we're considering only 9% of Americans have a
I homeschool my
passport.
children.
I think about that. And if I knew anything, you haven't got a passport.
Again, you don't live in a free country or the most dangerous country in the world, so I'm not paying any
Well,
attention.
this is why I should know about freedoms and liberties taken away.
Do you know where Britain is at all?
No.
Oh yeah, I know that you guys aren't allowed to have any guns at all. So you babies can't carry on a conversation with adults in
Don't need
America.
a gun. What do you
Anna,
gun
do you have an
for?
answer to the question?
I don't
Make
care where people are from. Their opinion is valuable to me if they're on this panel.
Yeah, and also there's one word in the title of this whole thing that's longer than 3 letters. And it's not the and it's not pub. What's that third word?
It's too long. I can't read it.
International.
So
Dan can read it.
Interflirgenderman.
I got the first part.
The base of the whole thing is to get people from around the world. That's why when we have Anna here and Welshman, and of course we had a little bit of Banksy earlier, it feels international. You know?
It's funny that none of you people get satire at all. It's really hilarious. I find it very funny.
We understand.
We're pretty dumb, Dank. It's only when you join us that the IQ goes above 75.
To be fair, the Americans are known for not getting satire, but the boys on the panel are great normally. But
that wasn't satire. That was more like an intense level of sarcasm, really, that you were going with. Not satire, I guess. But you could apply satire to it after the fact.
Oh, really? So saying the same like boilerplate things that right wingers say to people in other countries when they talk about guns in this country, that's not satire.
I
don't know those. I've never heard those boilerplate things. So to me,
yeah, and to be honest with you, you agreed with me. You agreed with me about these strict gun laws in blue states, and you said that it affects the law-abiding citizen rather than the bad guy.
I want to hear Anna's answer.
Yeah, there you go, Anna. Question was like 2 hours ago.
What's the question? Because he spoke so much that I forgot what it was about. What's the question?
Is trans a mental illness?
No, that's not the question.
Oh, sorry.
I think so. The other question?
That's a good question.
Should the laws in this country that says a felon cannot get a license to carry a firearm or buy a firearm, depending on the state,
can't possess it,
should that be applied sweeping across the board to all trans people?
Well, I cannot say because in Germany you cannot buy freely guns, but I believe that there are also restrictions here. For example, if you commit a violent crime, then you're not allowed to get any guns. Because, for example, people who go hunting, they can buy guns.
Sure.
Not rifles, but, other guns.
The question is basically a question about what you think of about trans people and what level you're going to apply your thinking to, like what we allow to purchase firearms here. In some states like Massachusetts, it's a pain in the ass. But I'll tell you what, if you're trans in this state, it's much easier. That's the problem.
Okay, that's strange.
No, I'm kidding.
That's not true.
It's so liberal that the trans come and they're like, "Oh yeah, you're good, you're in. Don't worry." Oh, wait a second, a white guy? Call the FBI. We got a white guy here. We're gonna throw the book at him.
No, I think that basically no matter which law, it should apply to everyone. But if there's differences, then it's not a law anymore. I think so. And of course, the gun issue is something I cannot speak about because it's really very American topic, and we don't have it here. But basically, criminals should not have access to weapons. That's what I think. Yeah. But we don't have it here.
Anna, you know that some of the finest firearms come from Germany. Absolutely high quality stuff. Some of them.
They go to Ukraine.
Some of it.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, it goes to Ukraine and gets sold. It gets sold to anyone else then. It
Maybe
doesn't
I
actually
should
go.
go there.
It doesn't go into battle. It doesn't go into battle in Ukraine. It just gets filtered out.
They're sending a huge shipment of P320s over there, Topple. I heard there's an excess of them all of a sudden. Why, but
I don't know. It's very strange, but basically the normal people, they don't have access to this. That's good. I mean, we don't need that yet.
gotcha.
But
I have
if they
one more.
allow it, I will get one.
I have one more question for the panel. I know it's speculation, but if anybody has any input on this, this is what has been bothering the most. The individual at the Minnesota school shooting shot children and purposefully went after that specific place to shoot at children. How
Sure.
does that, in logic or reason, solve the problem in their manifesto that they were going after individuals that wronged them? In my mind, that would be elders and politicians or things of that nature. To go after the innocent of youth, to me, is a much more demonic, hardcore act.
I think it's a mistake to assume that this was a rational act to get back at people that wronged them. May have had a manifesto, but the sum total of all their writings does not point to any particular ideology. Really, it's hard to know. You know, you can call them trans, but they said they were tired of being trans and thought it was a mistake. There's almost nothing you can pin to this person other than that they killed a bunch of kids.
Okay.
You know, it's hard to make any generalizations.
Can we stop calling them?
Other than they were a fucking nut job. Oh, and that they had been online asking people in the chat room.
Dank, shut the fuck up, Dank.
They're a nut job.
Shut the fuck up, Dank. I'm trying to make a point here.
It's easy to
trying to make a
call them
point.
a nut job after they've committed a crime.
Shut the fuck up, Dank. I'm trying to make a point. Right. So far, the two of you, one of you used the word individual, and the other person used the word person. It was a bloke. It was a dude.
They, them,
It was a
the,
dude.
she, her.
I understand the point that you're making, but it's besides the point.
Don't fall into the language, this ideology to change your language. Stop
It was an
it.
attention whore. That's all
I'm
it
not
was.
falling into any ideology.
I'm not
It's,
even actively
actually-
trying to say one thing or the other. I'm just asking a question.
Well, the press are calling it a she.
Well, that's what they want to call them, whatever. Doesn't fucking matter.
But luckily in German, you cannot say they, them. You have to call them it.
I just did a search
it.
a few minutes ago. Wife had said, how many female mass shooters have there been? Then I looked up, do a quick statistic search, and then I see this line from one statistic that says, people who've identified as females. And I'm like, wait a second. So how many, you can't even really look up how many actual women or people who were born as women.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. So that's been corrupted. So basically, the statistics have been corrupted. Misogyny
right now.
in women's
Stop
mass
right now,
shooters.
guys.
Doesn't
Stop.
matter.
No, it's misogyny.
before any
It's
of this-
misogyny,
before-
Dank. It's misogyny. How dare they? How dare the blokes get involved
Thank you,
in
don't
mass
get to
shootings of
control
females?
this. Come on.
I-
Sounds like
I know, last
How's
dance.
that-
How is that
It's
possible,
driven.
last dance? How is that possible? Misogyny's everywhere. It drips from every part. The men want to get involved in female mass shooting now. Stats outrageous.
yeah.
I agree with
Okay,
Dan.
now,
It was a nutcase
before-
that shot up that school.
Before,
I don't care about
before anybody
How many,
was
Steve?
focused on trends.
How many, Steve? How many of these
the
identifying?
studies-
How many
the
was there?
studies that would you shut your fucking ass up and let somebody else fucking talk, you faggot?
It was like
Oh, I'm a
three-
faggot.
Oh!
Like, whoa, that's TOS. That's TOS.
That's
That's
3% or
TOS.
so, and that word.
Oh,
is
I'm sorry.
completely
It doesn't
allowed.
offend you that you're a bundle of sticks.
Well, no,
That's right, that's right.
I'm just trying to like look after my friends' channel.
Okay, so shut up,
You
faggot.
degen,
All right.
you degen.
All right, let's not pepper it in here like fucking. Come on, one drop is enough. Don't double up.
Dude, shut his fucking mouth.
I didn't finish the word though. I stopped.
Gosh.
Now, as I was trying to say, before anybody got focused on trans as a thing,
to hate on. The research was that women do not murder people up close; they poison.
What?
So
The
women
Nazis
are
did.
women mass
There were
shooters
many
don't
Nazi
exist.
women in the concentration camps. I can say that it was not the case, for sure. There were enough women who shot people and so on. Yeah.
Okay, but when women commit crimes to murder, they do not shoot, they do not stab normally unless their life is in immediate danger. They don't like to be that close. They poison.
I don't know. I've not killed anyone yet.
You got to get
Well,
close to poison.
you have, of course, Aileen Warnock, the famous mass murderer who was a serial killer, played wonderfully by Charlize
I'm
Theron.
sorry. What was she?
Please don't
What was
scream! You're waking up my neighbors.
She was a
That-
serial
what was-
killer. Serial killer.
But wait a minute. What was her profession?
She was a prostitute, I believe.
Okay, so you're telling me that a prostitute who is having sex with somebody had the balls to slit their throat while they were having sex or while they were asleep next to them?
It's a little kinky.
Yeah, she was fucking nuts.
Obviously she did something like that.
That makes perfect sense because there's no danger to her.
You know, I think you'll find that in the recent decades, a lot of female murderers shot their victims.
Yes.
Yes.
Were their lives in immediate danger?
Well,
it doesn't really matter. You're just trying to move the goalpost now.
Yeah.
She blamed her. She blamed the Johns that were buy sex from her for her complete shitty life.
Yeah, she was the one from the truck stops, wasn't she? She was the one from the truck stops.
She would kill them, and there was a famous guy who begged for his life and said, "I have a wife and kids," and she started to cry, and then she fucking popped him right in the forehead.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, crazy is what crazy is, yo.
She's quite interesting. She's quite interesting on interview, isn't she?
She was.
Oh yeah.
Aileen Wuornos?
Warnock, something like that.
She's Finnish, of Finnish descent. I watched a true crime on her. True crime.
Well, they made a movie. The movie was decent. I think it had Dakota Fanning. Is that her name? And
Christina Ricci.
Christina Ricci. That's it. Right.
Someone else, yeah.
Very nice.
Dank, I've noticed underneath your name there it says "right about everything," but I'd like to mention you've mostly been wrong about near enough everything you've said tonight.
I can't read what anything says.
A bit full of yourself, isn't it? He's a bit full of himself.
Can't see the little tagline under the name, like right
Yeah,
there.
I read it, and it reminds me of how this is in German.
Information expert. Okay.
Would you like for me to explain it for you?
Let me see what this guy's got down there.
It says "right about everything."
United by Excellence. Is that from the United Blank College Fund from back in the day?
No.
All right. I won't even say that word.
It's a plumbing phrase.
Kind
That's
of.
what holds the pipes together he works on.
Actually, it's
Sorry.
funny that it says right about everything, but it should say left about everything.
That's what I was thinking.
You already made that joke?
No, but I was thinking it.
It was very witty.
Thank you.
He still thinks that the guy that tried to kill Trump was probably a Trump supporter.
Oh, I think someone's trolling here. I looked up United by Excellence. Don't troll the stalkers. Come on.
He was clearly a Trump fan. He had killed Trump today on one of the mags. So that was
He's got all
interesting.
kinds of shit. In fact, I think some of the stuff he put on there was to troll people because he knew after he died, people would read too much into the stuff he put on.
His guns
He
quite
was
well,
an
didn't he?
attention whore, or it was an attention whore. Don't want to piss face off there.
They were an acceleration.
But I agree with Dank. He was a Trump supporter.
Their point was to do exactly what you guys are doing right now, was to feed into the hate amongst the trans community, amongst the left community, amongst every fucking
Wow,
community.
wait, you agree with him?
No, I did not. Until you started talking.
He had right-wing shit on there. He had shit that people are calling left-wing shit on there.
God
He had
damn it.
fucking Russian shit on there. His whole thing was to try to get you motherfuckers talking and to get you motherfuckers hating each other. Yes.
Well, he did
I
a good
totally
job
agree,
of
buddy. I
getting
just
people to
would
hate trans
like it
people.
not to be this loud. because otherwise I'd
Surprisingly,
get
as I mentioned earlier,
Why are you
with
screaming?
the Buffalo shooting and the one that happened in the, down south in the church, both of those guys were trying to start what they called a war or a race war and try to pit people against each other with their actions. So your
Charles
contention is
Manson?
Yeah.
Did it
Charles
work?
Manson. That's an interesting
Helter
one.
Skelter.
I've looked at those Transformer shooters, and it's from 2018. The shooter started. So
Yeah, what about the Colorado movie theater?
Yep.
At the Batman.
I mean, trans people are the cause of all the mass shootings in America. Let me tell you.
Transformers?
What really is gang members, because most of them don't even
Transformers, males in disguise.
A mass shooting doesn't even have to have fatalities.
No,
it can
it
just
All right,
be.
guys.
Yeah.
No, it
I'm
does
gonna
not.
go because it's my bedtime and I
Oh,
gotta get my
Dan,
kids
don't
tucked
go
in.
now,
And
man.
so,
Have a good night.
Hey,
We were just
I'm
getting
tired.
into it,
It's my
Dan.
bedtime.
take it
All
easy,
right,
We
Dan.
were just
Well,
getting
well,
into it.
Have a good week, Dank.
See you.
Have a good night.
Be well. Come back. now,
Entertaining.
here.
Thank you.
Now we need McGrande to come in here. Come on.
Oh,
Yes,
God.
yes, we need him.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, that was interesting, lads.
I'm not going
Oh.
to talk trash when he's not here, though.
No,
Good plan.
Yeah, Last Dance.
He did enough
I
of
think
that.
these are pretty good, man. If you haven't seen them yet,
I can't see him now.
It's
Looks
beef jerky.
no, it's not. It's like plant based.
Oh, Dave's.
Dave's
Dave.
Hot Chicken?
No, it's like nuts and grains.
Plant
I don't. It
based
doesn't,
bread?
say, it doesn't
chicken.
say vegan, but I can't see anything that's not.
Is
Oh,
it,
is that
is
the
it
Insanity?
Oh.
Dave's Insanity Bread, the bread guy?
Dave's bread?
It's killer. The ex
Killer.
convict.
That's it, right. Same guy.
Anyway,
Ah,
I tried it
well,
on a whim, and it's not bad.
I'll keep it in mind. I'll look for it.
Nuts are nuts.
I don't
Knew
know
it.
even what that is. People
How you doing today, Anna? I haven't heard you much today.
Aurora.
I still don't hear you.
That was James Holmes. He was a schizophrenic.
That's the killer beard guy.
Yeah, I remember him. He shot up the theater during a Batman movie. I was talking about that one. I was trying to reference it. Of course, Eastwind, right there with the facts. Appreciate it, bro.
Yep.
Didn't he have
And
pink hair?
he had pink hair and shit. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah, I put him on the left side.
So pink and blue hair is an automatic.
White supremacist. Now. Pink and blue hair is white supremacist.
Oh crap!
No hair. We used to be no hair. Just
There was one not too long ago. It was like 2 months ago where they said they were looking for a white man, and it was clearly a mixed race guy, and they'd faded the picture down. I'm thinking that's just literal deception. They originally, about 4 weeks ago, there was some shooter or something going on, and they basically just lightened the film a bit like what they did with Joe Rogan, where they darkened it. I'm thinking,
I didn't
I don't know
know they did
anything
that
about
with Joe
that.
Rogan.
It's amazing how much the UK gets more news than we do over here. It's just amazing.
I didn't know they did that. I don't know what you're talking about with Joe Rogan.
So with Joe Rogan, so when he said he treated himself, didn't he, with ivermectin and a cocktail of about 3 or 4 different
Horse medicine.
Oh yeah, and CNN reported, and what CNN did, they lightened the video of him talking about it to such a degree. It was like they put it next to the OG, and the OG he just looks tanned and fucking, well.
They made him look sicker in the
Are you
video.
saying they darkened the video or lightened it?
They lightened that Joe Rogan one.
Interesting.
Yeah. They made him look sick.
The guy's
basically.
shredded with great musculature and like a 1% body fat. So I mean,
Yeah, but of course
he
the OG,
probably would have needed nothing.
the The thing
he
is, mate,
recovered in 12 hours, he said, with all those drugs. I would like to see him take it on without anything. I bet you he would have beat it in 24 hours. You know?
Yeah, I mean, the worst thing about it all, though, is that the OG video was already out in the open. So when CNN got hold of it and just lightened it out, it just looks awful because obviously.
I thought he was looking to sue CNN for that too.
Yeah, I think he might be. He might not.
But
he
said that to grab attention.
He's got.
But it is outrageous what they've done because it's not misinformation or that's deception. Yeah, that's literally you're changing something.
All news.
I mean, he had a great quote. I heard him say, "Married men live a life of quiet desperation," which I thought was a pretty interesting quote.
I somehow don't think he's responsible for that quote.
Probably not. He's maybe repeating just things that have been said from other men before him.
But fair comment to him for using it.
What was the quote? Sorry.
It's gone now into the ether.
Okay.
Married men lead a life or live a life of quiet.
He screwed it up too. Nobody can say it without a mistake.
I don't know what he said, but I'm just trying to remember what you said.
And
Live a life
I
of
messed it
quiet
up.
desperation.
Quiet desperation.
Everybody, married, single, lives a life of quiet desperation.
No, I think there's one time in your life when you feel completely free.
Quiet desperation. I don't know if I can agree with that.
Well,
I'm rather loud about it.
It's like the existence of fatherhood or, life in general, the weight of it all creates that. And it's not an intentional thing. It just you're not out, hunting elk. You're not out doing this. You're not out doing that. You're not out doing whatever you really want to do because in reality you can't because your life restricts you from doing the things that you truly want to pursue, in my opinion. But that's true for most people. Unless this is your one, if this is your grade A number one thing to pursue, then you have attained nirvana. Here you are. All right, this is it. Last Dance is like, I'm good. This is all I need.
Marriage, might cut it a percentage, and then you have kids, and that cuts it more percentage to the freedom to be able to go and just do whatever you want. I was literally thinking today because I was warring with my children, like a pie chart.
That's a good example. Warring with your children.
Right. So think of a pie chart, and when you're my young son, he's 100% of that pie chart, and then when you have a wife, you don't just think about yourself 100%. All of a sudden, there's 50% or a certain percentage that goes to that wife, and then you have kids, and then all of a sudden, the man's wish and selfishness is cut into quarters or whatever else percentages. You're no longer free to just do what you want. I don't know about quiet desperation in relation to that, but I definitely see how a young child is selfish and a man is not able to be like that.
Yeah, and that makes you appreciate why, I follow, dumb example, but a certain YouTuber who, is through his life, he's raising kids and he's teaching them how to hunt, and then, now they're all making, hunting and fishing content together. That's kind of winning, I'm sure there was a period where he couldn't do that when they're at an age of rambunctiousness and whatnot,
but you're also seeing a final product. You don't know if there's fighting involved in that video, right?
Exactly. You get the 1 hour.
My 3 hours of content would be cut down to probably 15 minutes. So I don't know.
Right. You'd need grade A Hollywood level editor to cut it
Make
down.
this look like I'm happy and we're both having fun.
Right. It'd be like The Sopranos without swears. It'd be very little fucking dialogue. You'd be like,
there you go.
gabagool.
Oh, why is that accurate?
It's a joke from I don't remember. Maybe The Kids in the Hall or Saturday Night Live made that a clean version of Sopranos. It was hilarious.
It's sort of like rap music. Some rap music, if they bleep it out, you can't even hear anything.
Exactly.
There's another topic that we brought up on the Remnant server for like one night about Ashley Babbitt being given her full military funeral. You guys had some thoughts on that. I think maybe Base might have some thoughts on that, or Anna. I'm not sure if you guys thought much about Ashley Babbitt and where you are, but apparently Biden took away her right to a military funeral, and Trump returned it, which is causing debate. I think most people here were perfectly fine with her having a military funeral, despite her actions in life, because she served honorably. I'm not sure where I said on it exactly. I think she served, so give her that funeral because she earned it through service. But, and what happened after that is a different story.
Yeah, it's had to be.
I mean, if you look at that post that Drone Tech made, where that lawyer is on the CNN panel, he basically says she wasn't found guilty of anything. She served and she's a veteran. Unless you can really put something in writing or convict her of something, like there has to be a really solid reason. And I mean, this is the question. Is there a really solid reason?
Wouldn't that be labeled as treason? The whole act of storming that building and pushing through that window, like, isn't that considered?
It would not.
Okay, I thought that was the whole shtick.
It would not be labeled as treason. Treason has a specific definition. It involves assisting an enemy of the United States.
Mm-hmm.
It might be called any number of other things, but not treason. Insurrection, any number of other things.
There could have, well, I mean, we'll never know because the officer shot her in the neck.
Yes.
But most people think that was an overreaction. I don't think we need to go over that here unless you guys want to.
I'm just surprised. I didn't watch it myself. I'm just surprised what. It doesn't matter.
You can say it. It's okay.
No, it's calling out people, so I'm not going to say it. But, yeah, is it overreach by the president? Is she being just used as political?
What makes you think the president had anything to do with
it?
Speculation.
If her family.
He's speculating completely. So yeah, that's fine.
Well, I mean, if her family asked for an Air Force funeral, what would be their basis for denying it? They wouldn't have one.
Wasn't she denied it through? Wasn't it taken away from her?
I don't know.
It was denied.
Was she convicted of a crime? I mean, she died.
Well, that's what
he was in the process of a crime.
Well, it's not a crime until you're convicted of it.
That's our justice system.
So if you're robbing a bank and you kill somebody, they shouldn't be. Well, they're not going to be ever convicted. They're dead, but aren't they in the action of a crime?
It doesn't. You're not convicted of a crime, and that's the only standard available for it to be judged on.
Wow. For life, it's right, but at the same time, we know why Trump's doing it.
But now I will make a request of life.
Is because there's no legal reason to deny it to her. I assume her family wants one.
Now, I'll ask of wife, can you answer your own questions so we can see your thoughts, if you would, please, my lady? And that's what I was referring to. The lawyer on the CNN panel basically said there's no legal reason not to. Well, I could play the clip, but we've all seen it. But I mean...
But the other idiot on the panel was comparing her to mass killers, so...
I'm glad you didn't break your computer so you can hang out tonight.
I just see that. That's why I don't watch that shit.
How is it related to mass murders? Or like, what did they have a reason for that? Or
Well, no, because veterans should all veterans get this service? Look at in the past of these killers, like Timothy McVeigh, and I forget the other. I shut it off as soon as she said that. So, because they were veterans at one time, so should they get a ceremony?
That's what blows my mind the most is that for what Last Dance said, like if someone is committing a crime but they die in the process, they're not convicted of that crime. Therefore,
they're not convicted. They're not convicted.
They're not convicted, but they clearly did it. We're trying to.
Here's what Gemini says: all service members. A military funeral is available for active duty service members and honorably discharged veterans.
Not dishonored, yeah.
Including those from active military, naval, or air service in the selected reserves. A military funeral requires an honorable or under honorable conditions discharge. Those are the requirements.
Yep.
Period. So they're entitled to it. So that's the end of the story.
She was being used for political reasons under Biden, and I believe she's being used for political reasons under Trump.
Absolutely, but
the funny thing is,
shouldn't get it.
Why is she now getting the funeral now? Why didn't she get it when she died in 2020?
I guess because it was denied.
You know, Trump was president for 13 days after that.
I guess if he would have done it politically then, he would have suicided his next chance at presidency.
No, the election was already over.
Yeah, election was already over.
I don't know then.
That was the whole
it was January 6th, the election.
It depends. It depends on when the parents asked for it too. Because you served and you died doesn't mean you actually have to ask. So
now I'm more curious as to did the family ask for it and were they denied at some point?
No, they were. They did ask. It was Biden's ministry. That was actually in the news article. Now, is that factual? The news article stated that.
Well, let's see what Google Gemini says.
And they said the Biden administration denied.
You're using that over X now as your main?
Yeah. Ever since X started the Nazi thing, Grok, I've kind of...
You mean Mecha Hitler?
Yeah, exactly.
That's hilarious, dude.
I kind of decided to try rely on other AI.
What is this?
Gemini
what the fuck are you
trusted,
guys talking about, dude? What is this? Mecha H.
You remember I sent you something. This was a couple months ago when apparently they wanted
Hitler on us.
They changed the programming for Grok to make it less politically correct. And
it became a Nazi.
Doing like anti-Semitic. It was quite amazing.
I thought, Elon Musk was a Jew.
No, he's not a Jew.
He's not a Jew.
I don't think so.
He's not Jewish?
No.
But the next day, X apologized for the output of Grok. And they didn't explain. They didn't explain what they did.
Okay, my bad.
Well, it tells me that people are pulling this, tweaking it for effect rather than accuracy behind the scenes.
And one can only hope that Gemini is not doing that.
Like I said, as soon as it says something that seems like it's being tweaked for some reason or another, but other than accuracy, then I'll try something else. I'll try ChatGPT.
Well, don't use .ai because BottleCap just called it out.
Oh, okay.
Well, he says he's Jewish by association.
Who is? Mecha Hitler?
Elon. That's a quote from Elon.
Who says that?
Well, that's the
I've
same.
never heard him say that. I thought he was atheist through and through.
He was raised Anglican.
Well, same difference.
Elon Musk is South African, I thought.
That is correct.
Yes. He is South
But
African.
yeah, it is possible. I don't know. I think that he's totally crazy, but yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I think he's a little batshit crazy, but I also think he's quite innovative too.
Yeah, he did. He accomplished a lot. So I don't know.
Sometimes crazy and brilliant go together. Oftentimes, really. I mean, if you happen to enjoy the writings of Hunter S. Thompson, there's somebody.
Nope. Gemini says Babbitt's family requested military funeral honors in 2021.
February.
The request was denied. A letter from General Brian Kelly stated that providing honors would bring discredit upon the Air Force, citing the circumstances of her death. Well, at the time, Babbitt was honorably discharged. I think that he should be court-martialed for that.
Wait. She was dishonest.
Wow! Whoa! Back that thing.
I'm
up.
out. You can't.
Beep,
You cannot be dishonorably discharged when you're.
I didn't say he. I said he. Lieutenant General Brian Kelly
You
for
think
denying her.
the fucking?
He's allowed to deny, but he can't say she's dishonorably.
For protecting the honor of the Corps.
It's not protecting the honor. It's just blatantly political. She met the requirements for a military funeral. That's the end of the story.
What you talking about, Willis? Come on.
What's confusing you? What am I saying that's not clear?
Most of the word.
There is a reasonable thing there. If she was trying to break into a restricted area in the Capitol and was being told to go back, and she kept breaking a glass window to go in there where there were senators potentially like hiding, scared for their lives.
She was never convicted.
Yeah, I understand that, but I guess you have to use your eyes to see what you see.
You got to remember, it was worse than Pearl Harbor.
None of that seems worthy of denying her entitled military funeral.
It's not heinous enough.
What if she threw a foot-long ham and cheese sub at the cop before?
That would have been over. They would have just shot her right there.
That might have been. Well, it's not kosher, so yeah.
It's kind of battery if you look at it.
That's a hate crime, dude.
Police officer. Oh, the police officer was.
It's a hate crime if he was Muslim or Jewish.
Oh, that's what I was going with.
I was just going with probability. I don't know.
But if he was Chinese, they love their pork. He'd have probably caught the sub and kept rolling with the pistol with one hand and chow that shit down.
I didn't know that. I didn't know
if it's a vegan, then you're talking death penalty if you throw a ham sandwich at these guys. Screwed, man.
Welshman asked earlier if we're going to go see the Oasis tour in the United States. You going to go tour with Oasis?
No, it's not Nickelback.
It's not Nickelback, sorry.
What?
Nickelback. It's the battle of the worst. It's the battle of the worst bands ever.
Is that a joke?
Come on.
That's me.
Something came up on my sometimes the algorithm on Instagram hits just right, and it says what every person who hates Nickelback hears when they hear this song. And the song is, I look at this photograph. Well, I'm looking at a photograph.
Oh, yeah, that's funny.
Look at this photograph. Every time I see it, makes me laugh. I think.
Yeah, that's the real song, but this song just keeps repeating photograph.
Yeah, it's funny.
It's all I can think about when I hear that song. Other than the line, what was that on Jimmy's head or something? I don't know.
Jimmy's Chicken Shack?
What was it on his head?
Oh, I have no idea what you're talking about.
What the hell was on?
Yeah, it's in that song. It's a line. I'm like, what was on his head? Was it? I don't even want to know. Was it?
They
I
just.
don't know. I'm gonna urinate outside. You guys can theorize what was on his head. Well, I'm gone. Well,
it was a yarmulke.
Might have been.
Maybe.
Time to celebrate
Joey's
Hanukkah.
dead, by the way. It's Joey.
Okay, so Gemini does say that the military does have the discretion to deny a military funeral for an honorably discharged person when the circumstances surrounding their death are such that to provide honors at the funeral or burial of the person would bring discredit upon the person's service.
Don't
Would
look
bring
at the,
discredit upon whom?
So I will not have that man court-martialed.
and like I said, on whatever, when I, at that time, you got to remember, a lot of people thought January 6th was worse than Pearl Harbor.
Yeah, a lot
So-
of people who are called Democrats thought that.
Yeah, I'd
Not-
say that those people are
They
slightly
still
retarded.
believe that.
I mean, I mean, a lot of people thought that, you know, the crimes were committed and they should have been punished, but worse than Pearl Harbor was an exaggeration.
How many lives were lost?
exclusively, given by Democrats.
How many lives were lost in Pearl Harbor? Roughly, does anyone know?
A couple thousand, maybe
A
thousand.
couple thousand. Yeah,
Maybe
those
1,000.
people are retarded then.
Well, we knew that, didn't we?
Destruction of property is one thing, but loss of human life, that's not comparable.
Well, there were 6 officers killed that day too. You got to remember that.
Yes, those
something that's still said by Democratic politicians.
I know, it's funny.
It's just, my head wants to blow up.
2,400 Americans died in the Pearl Harbor attack.
2,400. May they
What's
rest
going on
in
here?
peace. The comparison of Pearl Harbor to J6, I was asking the difference in casualties. Or is casualties the right word? Casualties doesn't mean death.
I
No.
think, no, casualties mean just being injured.
Injured.
Or death.
But
But you also,
Joey's head.
Yeah, it was what the hell's on Joey's head.
what was on Joey's
Yeah.
head?
Good to
What
see
are you guys talking about? Is this a Nickelback song or something?
Yeah.
The photographs.
Look at you recognizing those lyrics.
No, but I know we were talking about Nickelback at that time. What song? What's on Joey's head? Oh, yeah, I
Joey.
do. It is.
Not Joey.
Yeah, okay. Now I say it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all.
What's on
Well, I mean,
Joey's
there was
head?
There was a video of a Saudi national recording all these landmarks in Washington before the act of 9/11 that the FBI had in its possession for years, but it was really brought out in 2020 and was actually released by the news media not long ago. And a lot of career guys have watched this and said he's obviously filming this for a reference to get it back to the Saudis so they could use it. And that was going to be the plane that went down in Pennsylvania was going to hit the Capitol building, I believe, or the White House.
Who was filming?
It was the Saudi national. And he's been, it's been.
Which Saudi national?
You want me to find the name now?
Do they know the person's name?
Yeah,
Muhammad
he's been
something.
questioned by the FBI.
Yeah,
and
that I knew.
The videotape is available. And
Muhammad
seen
Muhammad.
the news stories I watched.
So sorry, I have to leave. It's
Muhammad
really
Muhammad.
late here. It's 3:30. See you next time, okay? Take care.
Thanks,
Good
Anna.
Great
talking to
night.
you, Anna. Have a good
Bye.
week.
Cheers. Bye.
Yeah. And it really draws more attention to the Saudis as having.
Every day, foreign nationals film those very same things and have for forever. You got to
Yeah.
remember things that stand out after the event there may not have been any reason to consider them significant before the event.
It's possible but this was recorded before the event. And of course,
Yeah, I understand.
it was held by authorities and then sent to the FBI years later.
I'm
Yeah.
telling you that thousands of
I know,
Saudi
10,
nationals over
probably
the
hundreds
years
of thousands, man. I
recorded those same sites.
Sure. Yeah, you're right. There's no definitive proof that particular video that I saw that experts said seemed like this were in fact that. There was nothing definitive, but it was you're right. It's in the nebulous of it's a strong feeling that I have that that's what it was from these experts. But I hear you. It's not definitive proof. It wasn't like he went at the end and said, and I'm a spy for Saudi Arabia, and my, working number is this, and here's my contacts, and this and that. Obviously, no, there's no definitive proof. But I mean, do you think that Saudi Arabia was a main influence on 9/11?
Not the country. Certainly, its nationals were.
But they then would have been extremists from Saudi Arabia, which would be basically following Al Qaeda, ISIS, or the Taliban, basically, right?
Yeah.
So you don't think the country had anything to do with the country of?
Not the government.
Yeah, I think it's a reason.
I mean, they were, Al Qaeda was the government's enemy too. Now, it's also true that Saudi Arabia was a primary funder of
Osama.
Well, just in general of the madrasas, all around the world, many of which were radical and promoted jihadist ideology. And people who say, well, Saudi Arabia wouldn't fund something that, where people threaten Saudi Arabia, well, they just don't keep track of it that well. They send the money out, and that's the last they know of it.
This mother's got a lot of money over there in Saudi Arabia.
Exactly.
So none of you think that 9/11 had anything to do with the United States causing an event to create political shift?
Never thought that.
Okay.
The false flag?
Sure.
No, I never thought that. I've always
It was
had
an
fun.
insurance scam.
I've always had fun discussing it, and
Larry Silverman.
Yeah, Lucky Larry. Everyone knows about him. He didn't go to work that day. His office was empty. Yada yada yada. We've all heard it.
One building did just collapse by itself that had all these documentations too. So I don't know.
Yeah, as far as I know, that thing was loaded up with diesel fuel in the basement for some reason. But what do I know? But yeah, no. To answer your question succinctly, RW, never thought that. No. Anyone else?
No.
No.
Okay.
Yourself? Can you answer
Yourself?
it?
I know. You got this little smirk on you.
Oh, I'm over here biting my tongue.
All right, it's okay. It's okay.
I'm not so wise as to hold my tongue, so I'll share some. I believe that the United States government is a very powerful entity that is a part of things like 9/11, and it's not just a surprise attack, but it's more complex than that. Especially when it comes to information like Building 7 and damage from planes and this and that, how 9/11 towers fell and physics and all those things. There's too many experiences in my lifetime where the proof and the evidence doesn't add up to the event. There's another example of the assassination attempt on Trump's life in Pennsylvania, wherever that was,
Florida.
And the amount of information that was released on that, and it just doesn't add up or make any sense, but that's all you're given, and then we just have to accept it. So I have no definitive proof besides a bunch of speculation, but it's enough speculation to make me not trust what I'm told.
Interesting. So you have an inherent distrust.
Yeah.
That's
I have
good.
an inherent distrust, yes.
There's no reason to have a blind trust
whatever I'm
either.
told, I'm trusting it's not true.
Many smart men have said through the years, question everything. There's nothing wrong with that, for sure. And that
Question
leads me
everything.
to another thing. Question everything, and people tend to shout down any discussion of anything. Sometimes it's almost as though there's these verboten subjects that are just like I feel like you, Last Dance, are like you roll your eyes if some of this conspiracy shit comes up and yada yada. You're like you don't want to be bothered, and a lot of America feels that way.
I'm looking for some evidence.
Evidence. That's your bar.
And usually, what I hear is not even remotely convincing.
Have you ever gotten any evidence, anything, anytime, ever about anything that has made you say, "Wow, they were actually right"?
I mean,
JFK, 9/11.
Yeah, I have. I think that the death of Sirhan, Lee Harvey Oswald was suspicious.
Jack Ruby.
Jack Ruby's killing of Lee Harvey Oswald is the most suspicious part of the entire thing.
Because of his ties through organized crime and the CIA and that whole
Not even that. It doesn't require any ties at all. It's just that the guy who they said was the gunman was killed pretty quickly after he was identified. It was, if it was a conspiracy, that's a pretty tidy way to tie it up. Of course, Jack Ruby had to agree to spend the rest of his life in jail, which, is extremely unlikely.
You're saying, say Jack Ruby had an outstanding debt, they told him.
Yeah, I know what you're going to say. Right, or we'll kill your family if you don't do this.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think they would choose. I don't know. It's risky. Like any conspiracy, Jack Ruby, like when he's dying of cancer, for example, might have said, okay, I've held my secret long enough. I'm going to, spill the beans. I say it's suspicious, but it's barely any evidence. It's a tiny, tiny bit of evidence.
So
the most likely answer is that he was just angry, like everybody else was, at this guy who killed, our president.
A well-loved president. So your contention with this theory is that Jack Ruby, that in order for this to be real, then it would mean that Oswald wasn't the lone shooter for your theory to be real.
No, it's still, he could have been the lone shooter, but he might have been paid by somebody, who paid him.
Trained, given information.
Given, etc.
Right.
And after he did the deed, if it was a conspiracy, there would be a need to silence him because he was, obviously psycho, right? You want to find somebody like Oswald who was someone who was likely to want to kill Kennedy. He's motivated, so you provide him with you tell him how to do it. You provide him all the logistics. Here's what you do. Step one, you go to this book tower, the book depository. There's a good window here. This is where the president's car will be at this time. Here's a rifle that we've tested. We know it shoots accurately enough. If you practice a little bit with it, we see you were a good marksman in the military, so you should be able to kill him.
Sharpshooter. I don't
right,
think
exactly.
An expert. But
and
otherwise, you would have to believe that Lee Harvey read the pamphlets that had the times that he was going to drive through, and amongst all the office buildings around, picked a place where he would have a vantage point on his own. He picked a place, had the time, had it set up nice for a comfortable shot with a piece of crap Italian surplus.
What did you call it? Carcano or something?
Mannlicher
Carcano, yeah.
Yeah. I think it's a 6.5 or 6 millimeter. Not
Mannlicher's a good name for a prostitute.
Yeah, not an overly powerful round, but it puts a crack out there. When you fire that thing, it definitely blast your eardrums to fucking smithereens if you're not careful.
Not a Claymore.
But 200 to 250 feet, which is it's like a 75 yard with the rifle with the scope shot. Not hard.
I've never bought the grassy knoll or the second gunman theory because the second gunman would have been more easily spotted than the gunman in the tower,
It-
and especially on the grassy knoll.
On the video, the driver leans back and shoots him.
That's fake. That's fake. And actually, like modern.
I like that theory, Festival. And nobody saw him.
No one saw him. It was in video, but he just went, wow.
Modern, like, I don't know if it's an AI technique, but they can like touch up films now. And
Oh,
really
they can
make
do anything.
Mhm.
And when you see now, that driver was not brandishing, and Jackie O was chasing a chunk of his brain.
She was
I'll
trying to
say that.
retrieve his brains. God
Poor
bless her.
fucking- Poor woman.
Fucked up, man.
But she
Poor
knew
woman,
how to
she ran out of
marry.
that
She married one of the great young presidents of our country, and then she married one of the largest shipping magnates in the world after
Yeah, but
Aristotle Onassis,
yep.
who did appear to have connections to that whole bigger thing that we always talk
You
about.
think you think he had JFK killed so he could snag Jackie O?
Well, I don't know. I can't say.
Ask Marilyn Monroe.
That would be a great conspiracy.
But did we land on the moon? I don't think we landed on the moon.
I'm gonna get rid of this guy.
Are you legit or not on that topple?
I really don't give a fuck.
He's doing his top.
That's not an answer. That's not an answer.
I don't know. I never researched it. It's kind of weird though. It's just we've been there, done that. We're not gonna do that again.
Fuck that. Old news.
But we
Yeah.
haven't gone back in like.
Well, no, we haven't had a man on the moon since. Well, not since. Not saying the first Apollo 8 was it? Am I wrong on that one?
No idea.
See, no one knows. So how
What-
can you
what's
say
the
I'm
question?
wrong?
What were you saying?
What was who? Land was this Armstrong? What?
Apollo 11.
That was 11.
Neil Armstrong, you dope.
Whatever.
Lance Armstrong rode a bike.
Oh, he had one ball. That's right.
Neil definitely had two
He
breaths.
was aerodynamic on whatever the steroids.
Did a scroll dynamic.
See, I know about that, but
Lance
It's because it's
Armstrong
real, man.
hyper oxygenated his blood, which is a technique. It really works.
Yeah, doping. Yeah.
And this
And,
guy recently, have you guys heard, broke the world record for being underwater for the longest period of time.
No, I didn't hear that.
It was
That's deep, bro.
26 minutes.
And surviving, right?
26 minutes.
Well, he hyper oxygenates his blood.
I know how
which
it works.
You would think it would be cheating. They'd say maybe you can just do the old.
So he goes in like a
under, like we
hyperbaric
all-
chamber?
What now?
He goes in a hyperbaric chamber?
Something like that. Yes.
Now that is cheating.
And he raises
How is
the
doping not cheating?
saturation of blood.
That is cheating too.
Like 90%. When we
Yeah.
walk around at like 15%. So
The guy before him that was just like breathed in and did it, you know, like, yeah, fuck that guy. What a loser.
yeah, at some point it must have gone from like 4 minutes up to like 9 minutes because like my oldest brother could hold his breath for like 2 minutes and 30 seconds when I was a little kid. He used to freak my mother out. And
I used to be able to go for maybe a minute and a half to 2 minutes at the most.
I don't know how
That's impressive.
Must have been proud.
I'm down for like 10 seconds and I feel like I'm like trapped under ice. I'm like, "Ah!"
Well,
Within 3 seconds, my man.
you do have to, I would kind of hyperventilate, go up and down, gradually increase my time and hyperventilate more, and then I could stay under for two minutes. I also learned to sort of relax in a way, just kind of drift without barely any heartbeat.
Sure.
I just played Mario and shit. I never learned these skills.
Yeah, I don't know how to swim, so
Damn.
Come on. You do know how to.
Well, when I was in high school, I used to like to look at the girls swimming like a creeper by going down to the bottom and looking
I'm
up.
just the dead guy floating around here with my goggles on.
Exactly.
bitches.
No one will notice me.
Right. Wedgie
Great
City.
success.
Wedgie City under there.
Hey, lady, this isn't a jacuzzi. Cut that out. What? Nothing.
Who
I
hasn't?
have-
Who hasn't been that young kid in the pool when you grab your mask and like this, a hot chick hooking up with her boyfriend, you checking them out underwater, you're like, whoa, what's happening over there?
Yeah.
That's like any dude at the beach with glasses on. It's not
Right.
bright. It's not bright, man. You can take those off. They'll adjust.
Weird. I always have this weird tan line when I get from the beach. It's usually around my eyes.
The pervy
Yeah,
raccoon.
I always have the raccoon thing. I have it now, probably. Yeah, you can see a little bit of.
You're
white.
tan?
You need to
Well,
stop
I'm
pervy,
red.
dude.
I'm Irish, and I'm drunk too. So that's more than the sun.
Potato, tomato, whatever.
Right. Had a nice day today. We went and made some homemade cheesesteaks on my brother's flat top.
Oh man.
Very nice.
Wait, what? You cooked on his car? No, what?
Flat top grill, flat top like a Blackstone they call
It's
it.
like a skittle.
Cooked on his aircraft carrier.
Right. Not that. I mean, your bro's rolling, dude. Yeah, we just like put on the afterburner and cook that egg in like half a second.
You guys don't call it a flat top like a flat metal grill?
Never.
No.
Flat top to me, I think.
Call it a griddle.
like
Griddle grill.
basketball court, maybe.
Or a Blackstone?
Or what's that? Foreman grill. It's a Foreman grill.
Foreman. No, this thing's like 4
George
feet
Foreman
wide.
grill.
It's huge, man. It's massive. It's
Doesn't seem damn difference.
Bro, I remember eating steaks off a Foreman grill. It butchers those steaks. It turns them into rubber.
No one ever ate off a jerk. Only poor people had that. Were you poor?
Yeah,
I'm
never had
sorry.
one.
I'm not hurt by it. Shit.
No. Actually, you could do a pretty damn mean kielbasa or a hot dog.
Oh yeah, you watched the
Yeah, but
infomercial
hot
for
dog's
it.
already butchered.
Yeah, well, me and my buddies had one back in the day, and we'd throw like even a PB and J in there, and then like
What?
it comes out hot. It's all the peanut butter and jelly's all melted together.
PB&J panini.
I mean, for the first 3 minutes, it's fucking molten. Your hands are like you're in the burn unit afterwards.
Real men don't let go.
That sounds
Well,
disgusting.
It's
Just
delicious.
put cheese in milk.
I'm
Make it
sure
grilled
you're right.
cheese.
You're the foodie here, not me. But
All
it
right,
Make it
sounds
grilled
disgusting.
cheese.
So the George Foreman was the poor person's grill, right? But the rich person's grill was the set it and forget it rotisserie. Remember that shit?
Set it
No,
and
I don't
forget it.
remember that
was-
one.
That was Ron
Really?
Popeil.
No, I
Bro, you
don't.
just put the roast in there and like walk away from it, and you set it and you forget it, and you come back and it's like this perfect roast.
Oh, was it a
Never had it.
rotisserie? It spins too.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh no, that's more expensive.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
High dollar shit.
Never had one. Maybe I'll
We
find
put
one.
these
and,
in our
like,
turkey roaster. That's what
I
we
might
did.
be able to get Aphid to hook me up with one after he dumpster dives for it in the future.
Maybe he'll come in and breathe some life into this decrepit show we have here.
He's
But
a
we just got
businessman.
an air fryer. We just got one. Air fryer.
Air fryer's
I got-
great.
I've been using one. It's not mine. It's my daughter's, but I don't like it.
We won't tell her.
You don't like it, of
It's
course.
great.
You promotively
What's all this
old
It's
habit.
cauliflower
like-
getting in here?
I mean, it does. It's the obvious. It just dries the frick out of anything.
You're doing it wrong.
I'm doing it wrong.
Oh,
You're doing
What
it
are you putting
wrong.
in there? A fucking cucumber? I mean, what are you cooking?
French fries. You do French fries, right?
No, I put up a roll in there that was in the refrigerator, and I wanted to just warm it up.
What?
What are you putting on your roll?
You don't have a
Put it
toaster?
in there to warm up because it's cold in the refrigerator.
Just plain roll, empty of void of all.
Like a hot
delicious-
dog roll.
An empty hot dog roll? Jeez, man.
yo, when you're vegan, you gotta
Are
spice
you hard
it
up? Can we send you a few bucks?
Oh,
if
it's
you need
simple as it gets. It works.
Let's do a GoFundMe for $5.
Jesus. Let's get the guys some fucking veggie burgers or something.
Well,
Those are too
The,
expensive.
a veggie hot dog eventually goes in the roll.
Yeah, I'm
Do you
sorry.
eat French fries? Do you eat French fries?
Yeah.
He doesn't like French people.
Well, nobody does, but I'm just saying, like, you ever put them in the air fryer? They always come out perfect.
No, what do I want? Where am I going to get French fries?
Frozen
freezer.
section.
Yeah,
I hate frozen French fries.
Oh, you are
They
just
even have
such
it
a-
like you can get Al's French fries. They put those in a bag. Maybe not where you guys are. But
You know the great French fries, so I should just ask you for.
Orida makes a decent fry.
Oh, come on! They've been frozen since the 1960s.
Oh,
Back
God.
when potatoes were potatoes.
Yeah, who knows what's in them now?
Before they evolved to potatoes, back when they were the prior thing.
Yeah, now they're footballs.
Like what Smoke Steve wife said, you don't air fry a roll, you toast it.
The toast setting in this air fryer blows the air around, just like it's air toasting.
You make it sound so delicious. This is an air blown roll. Oh,
No.
Well, yeah, I'm not in.
No hot dog for me, thanks. I'll just have the carb.
Just a roll. Just
British
a bun.
chips are the real what is the fucking difference between
Thickness. It's all about the girth.
Oh, Welshman. Yeah, he's out, right? I asked. Well, I go. Welshman's back. No, he's not. He's asleep.
Yeah. I did the whole hot chips and mushroom gravy the other night.
Oh, so good.
So good.
So good.
Heard of it? I don't know what that is. What, potato chips with gravy? What the hell is that?
pudding or something?
So
Poop.
hot chips, you know, like
French fries.
With
Fries.
gravy.
I'll translate.
and then mushroom onion gravy, like the brown stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Brown
gravy.
Brown gravy,
What,
like
what do
gravy.
they call that in Canada? It's poo something?
Punani.
No, it's not punani.
I don't know.
It's like it's something.
Poontang.
No,
No, poutine, bro. Poutine.
I don't know
Poutine. Poutine.
Poutine, that's what it is.
That's like
Thank you.
that's what Jawas. That's
But
like a
like,
Jawa word.
it's British. Sorry, it's totally British.
Oh, it's British. It's not from Canada.
Yeah,
I don't
it's-
know. I'd never heard of
Oh,
it.
it sounds a little bland, so I would say it'd be from the UK.
But
Well,
this
it's
gravy
French.
thing, dude, it was like peppery gravy with fresh mushrooms and onions cooked into it, and you pour that over the French fries. You're just basically adding lots of salt and fat to a French fry, which is what it needs. And then you eat it, and then you eat another plate, and then you're like, why did I do that?
No
and
cheese
it's
curds?
better if it's beer battered fries.
Yeah, which
But
we
I
did
just-
not have.
I think I found them one place here,
Yeah,
but they're just not the same if they're not deep fried.
yeah.
You got to have the cheese curds too, right?
Oh, they have a local place. They do cheese curds. So
Those are
good.
All right, let's
Cheese
get
curds
on.
and gravy on fries, Canadian poutine.
What else is good? Beans on toast.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
Oh gosh,
I'm not gonna hype that
I
one.
love beans on toast.
I bet you
So
do.
good.
What about if you mix curry in with it and cheese sorry,
So good.
curry.
Curry powder
That's
and cheese with your
Beans on
baked beans.
toast.
No, cheese is off the menu.
Mm,
You got to mix
Oh,
in
sorry.
like chow.
whatever.
So
else.
there- so English bottle cap. I think you're talking about potato wedges. That's what we call them.
No, they're not. They're not.
They're not.
Like steak.
They
cup.
call those wedges.
Oh, steak fries.
No, but not.
Chips,
But not.
That's the closest we have
That's
in
the
relation.
closest you have.
yeah, French fries are thin and nothing. I agree. I like the British chips better. They're thicker.
Interesting. You chilled mackerel.
You guys are starting to speak Sarita's language.
Mm, food.
Mom and Dad went on their anniversary to some schmancy place, and I got back and they're driving in. I'm like, "Hey, how was it?" And they're like, "Meh." Dad's like, "Just could have gone to Taco Bell." I'm like, "You guys have been married way too long."
Just went to Taco Bell.
Oh,
We're not in a great Michelin area for restaurants. That's for sure.
People tend to.
I don't live in
only
a great
like
Michelin area
food
either.
here, and they're not really big on branching out. And if they do branch out, it's usually the wrong
branch.
people that are making that cuisine, if that makes sense. You know, if you go to a Chinese restaurant, you would hope for Chinese people to be cooking that so that it's accurate. But here it's not so.
The Mexicans are making the Chinese.
Well,
food.
yeah, I think a lot of Chinese restaurants do have Mexican chefs now.
Well, Chinese food here is not. It's American Chinese food. It's not
Yeah.
authentic anyway. So,
But
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of
it's better when it's not just somebody else
Yeah,
completely.
It's sort of a half and half. It's basically Cantonese and Mandarin cooking, and it's some of the dishes are close, some of them are like non-existent in China, but it's sort of like an in between.
I mean, Thai is different here too. Australian Thai is different.
yeah.
We don't
you
get
know, a lot of
Thai.
Thai restaurants are started through loans from the Thai government
Thai.
to I guess to promote Thai culture throughout the world.
It's delicious.
I don't know. I mean,
Australian Thai is delicious.
I think they have some interesting flavors and stuff, but I'm not as big of a fan.
Yeah, but you're probably remembering the local one right now.
Yeah.
Oh, I love
Nice.
Yeah, that
We
I,
don't do
lo- I love basil, and I love Thai basil the best
Mhm.
of all basils.
Yeah.
Well, if you need any Thai basil, man, just let me know. I'll ship you some plants. I have some starting in the greenhouse right now.
We got some basil growing. My
Thai
daughter-
basil?
No, not Thai basil.
Thai basils, I believe they also call that lemon basil, right?
No,
I
I
don't
don't
know.
believe so.
You don't?
I think there's also a lemon basil.
Google it.
There's also a chocolate basil.
It's a chocolate mint.
Oh, is that what it is?
That's chocolate mint. It literally tastes like chocolate mint.
Oh, chocolate mint now, RW.
Basil.
Sorry.
All right. All right.
That's right, Eastwood. I'm talking Thai.
Jack's Talk Thai. That's a great
Is-
line
is-
from
Is Thai the one that has the peanut sauce or something like a peanut sauce on noodles?
Pad
Yeah.
Thai. Yeah,
Thai.
yeah, Pad Thai. That's good shit, bro.
That is good. I've
have
had
a
that.
peanut sauce,
What's
which is
that?
really good. They legit have a peanut sauce, which is really good.
Uh,
I think I'm so used to
Apparently-
cooking certain things. I don't know how they do the flavor profiles like they do. Just like curry, I don't know how to cook with curry, but it's delicious.
Apparently, pad Thai is a relatively recent invention that maybe 50 years ago or 30 years ago, the president of Thailand said we need a national dish
For the American market,
maybe for the American market or for the Western market. So they came up with
It's
pad
longer than 30 years.
Thai. Okay.
So I had my first Pad Thai around 95.
Okay.
Surprisingly, 30 years. Can you believe it? That would have been in Western Mass out in college, Amherst.
God
Bottle
damn.
Cap will do the real research and correct me.
I was playing
only
with
with
Hot
Duck
Wheels at
AI
that time.
though.
You were
I'm
playing
guessing
what?
it's DuckDuckGo. I've never
I was
used
playing
it.
with Hot Wheels at that time, Matchbox cars.
Yeah, it was too.
Yeah, back when they were made, bro.
They were metal, damn it.
Yeah, now only the collectors are like metal.
I had a friend when I was, quote, a friend when I was 3 years old.
Oh, your only friend?
Wow.
3 years old. My only friends were whoever my parents brought over to play with.
Right.
What a dick, Steve.
And he used to bash me over the head with my metal cars. He was responsible for multiple trips and scars on my skull from going to the emergency room. So I always said, later on, my mom would tell me the story. I said, why did you let him come stay with me? Oh, his parents were wonderful. He was a good kid.
No wonder you're
Tell
so
me
good
the
at
stories. He would say, "Oh, you used to walk on the countertops, and you eventually fell down. We had to take you to the hospital. You had to get stitches. Well, why did you let me walk on the countertops, Mom? Well, you were such a rambunctious child.
You grew up
You're like,
tough.
yeah, parenting's not my thing. Stop asking me questions. Shut up.
That was the truth."
Wow.
And my sister says that she gathered from the stories and from her perspective of being 2 years older that Mom was kind of burned out from caring for her. And so when I came along 2 years later, I kind of got less attention and was more of a feral child.
No, your mom just believed in natural selection. That's it.
Maybe, but unfortunately for her, I lasted.
Let the weaker die. Let's see what we got in him. Let's bring this kid over to beat the shit out of him. See how he makes out.
Listen anyway, though. Like
I remember his name, Todd. Toby
Jack.
Is that his name? God, I shouldn't say that. Someone might look him up, and he's he's
yeah,
a senator.
he's already halfway there.
Yeah, trauma events. You'll remember things.
So, like, if you have PTSD for Hot Wheel cars, like if you see them on the shelf, you're like,
Triggers you.
that bastard Todd.
I got to visit with my partner for a minute, so I'm going to take a minor break.
Wow.
All right. Should be about 5 minutes. Yeah.
Partner.
Oh man, no
All
answer.
right, see you, buddy. What do you guys think?
I have a couple more questions on things, but I need to also visit the outside.
What's up, Steve?
All right, buddy. What's going on?
Let's see if there's any coyotes.
You gonna ask the questions?
Me? No.
Sorry.
I'll throw them down real quick.
Well, no, you don't.
So on August 28th. Wait. I can
That was
pose
2 days ago.
Yeah. So 2 days ago, President Donald Trump fired newly confirmed CDC Director Susan Maneras, igniting resignations from 4 senior officials, and one of them was a bit interesting, and a mass walkout at the agency's Atlanta headquarters. The clash stemmed from disputes over vaccine policies with Health and Human Services Secretary RFK Jr., whom Maneras accused of promoting unscientific directives. Critics fear politicization will undermine public health, while the White House defends the move as aligned with Trump's Make America Healthy Again agenda, appointing Jim O'Neill as acting director amid ongoing turmoil. So my question is, from how this blurb is blurbed out, it looks like RFK is looking into vaccines and vaccine technology and adverse effects, and they don't want that to be looked into, because if that comes out with bad information, people aren't going to want to continue to take them, and that will damage and undermine public health. So that's my proposed thought and question. I will be right back. Sarita will definitely be able to take this one for me.
So you're telling me the president that pushed vaccines just fired this person?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, oh no, that's his deal.
I do know that Kennedy has been researching this for years because his son is autistic, and so he was looking into it, and he has done massive amount of research, and there is this documentary called The Truth About Vaccines, and every year they put out the episodes for free. And it's not all anti-vaccine. It's a whole bunch of different professionals. Some are pro, some are anti, but they're all wanting everything to be studied properly. And he is pro-safe vaccine. So the MMR is the biggest red flag on that list. But he has done all his research. He's, at this point, basically just needing to convince other people to actually acknowledge it. That's my little blurb.
Interesting.
Okay.
Well said. English Bottle Cap chiming in with this, a controversial statement.
Want to be
Nonetheless.
They is the deep state.
Only to gather that's what he means, or maybe he means they as the government.
It's possible.
Deep
I should let him
state.
speak for himself. That is the kind thing to do.
Yeah, he can certainly.
So when it comes to the statement of promoting unscientific directives, I don't understand the accusation if they're asking them to look into this using science. So to me, I have no problem whatsoever with looking into a system, auditing it, and spitting out all the data that you get from it. It's either going to show that it's safe and effective, it's going to show something in the middle, or it's going to show, a detrimental situation. And for me, I would want to know that data. If the society decides that they don't want to take that level of risk, if it ends up to be a high level of risk, actually, I don't consider that undermining public health. I consider that enhancing public health until they can figure out a different system that delivers the actual safe technology to cover disease. So for people to walk out on this and have a big stink about them looking into it, I think that's not a good look whatsoever. I'm more concerned with that than people wanting to look into it.
Well, why was she fired though? Because she was denying request?
I will look that up real quick to get a better answer.
Like, why was she fired for it? Were they following her out because they were upset that she got fired?
Good question. Why was Susan fired?
Especially for the president to do that after pushing a vaccine right at the end of his first term. I think that's just funny and hypocritical.
She was fired as CDC director primarily due to conflicts with conflicts with RFK, who is over vaccine policy and her refusal to follow certain directives.
Okay. Does she get to determine that? Well, the CDC, is that a government-funded agency?
So her attorneys are stating that she was targeted for refusing to rubber stamp unscientific, reckless directives and fire dedicated health experts. The White House spokesman Kush Dezay justified her termination by stating she was not aligned with the president's agenda of making America healthy again and had refused to resign despite indicating an intent to do so to HS leadership. So there's definitely a political spin on that. Like, she wasn't doing what she was told. So I would definitely need to see what was she told, and is that lunacy or unscientific directive, or is it actually just her opinion, and that's why she didn't do that. So I will be looking more into this because I think public health, I pay a lot of attention to public health and what people are doing with that, because I truly believe that the COVID-19 experience was a massive overreach in the medical and government industries, or government and medical industry.
What?
The Otto family was involved.
You can't just come on here and go,
All
right, RW, reread ask your question again.
Okay.
I know it's a lot of words.
So basically, the CDC director, Susan Menarez, was fired.
Yes.
And it was due to a clash between her and RFK and her refusal to perform tasks. And those tasks, in her opinion, were that they were unscientific directives. And there was people that also resigned and walked out because of that. And this is based off of the fear is that critics' fear, not so much her fear, I guess, is that the I can't use that word, politicization will undermine public health. In other words, if these things are looked into, people may back away from this technology. So
what are we talking about now? Technology? What technology?
Vaccine technologies.
Oh.
So I don't know. I don't know what the question exactly is. Are you for or against,
her being fired?
More so, and my question is, are you for or against people looking in and auditing that technology?
No.
If I believe that she was not, if I believe she was sincere and not doing this for political reasons, then I would respect her decision and agree with her. I have no reason to believe she is doing this for political reasons, but I don't trust entrenched CDC people. Now, she was actually appointed by Trump, correct?
She was appointed under the Biden administration, is my understanding.
She must have been promoted then by Trump to the director of the CDC, or he just left her on by Biden.
Yeah, I can look into that.
Okay.
I'm guessing that it was just a non-change.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of RFK. I don't have any respect for his theories. I don't have any reason to respect his theories. He has no significant science background. So I'm not interested in his ideas at all. I have no reason to be interested in his ideas. Doesn't mean he's wrong. He could be right, but I'm not gonna listen to the guy who doesn't have the background and ignore the person who does have the background, even though it's true that he could be right and they could be wrong.
But isn't the point of it to throw science at it, not just his opinion? He's the one driving the project.
No, if that were true, that would be fine. But I think in order to say you're throwing science at it, you have to also say that somehow science isn't already at it and it needs more science.
Well, I mean, it's challenging the science that is in place to
how
spend
would
money
our-
on it using science.
How would
I'm for that.
RFK have any basis to challenge the science? What does he know that somebody else at the CDC, who's a virologist or a vaccine expert or whatever, what does RFK know that they don't know? I heard RFK say something like children are facing mitochondrial challenges. I mean, what is that?
Hey,
I mean,
RW, let me
that's
ask you
more-
this. What was the last thing that you said? Was it the 9/11 thing that you had questions about with the involvement of the United States government? That
Were they
me and
involved in that event?
And me
basically?
and Last Dance both basically said no. I'm not sure what Topple's answer was on that, but I think it was no.
No.
His answer was that
Now on the next profound question of vaccinations, are you now also taking that unconventional view of going against the common belief?
I usually go against the common belief because I think common sense
Now,
is
my
no longer
question to
legit.
you, after you admitting that you do go against the common belief, is there a connection amongst these common beliefs that brings you to that place, or are they all independent
Asking
of each
questions.
other? Asking questions, of course, and we all do that. Don't say that just because we agree, we don't question things.
I mean, I do have concerns that were as a result of the COVID response, that there is too much groupthink and not enough skeptical inquiring in that community, in the vaccine community. But I'm not, there are scientists who are not part of that groupthink, who are experts. And I don't want to hear RFK's opinion. I want to hear their opinion.
Right.
And,
I want to see data. I want to see raw data, basically from controlled studies. I believe I can understand information enough from
Independent studies.
Yeah,
Specific.
and I don't mean
I'm
crackpot
from a
scientists.
non-corrupt mindset.
Okay.
So
Sorry.
it's already a large ask. But if we could
No,
have
that's right.
uncorrupted information, I would like to see what that information is, and not just told that, oh, you're fine. Oh, by the way, you can't sue us. And all
Yeah.
those mothers that are saying they fucked up their kids, they're
Well, I
just
think
they don't
you're
know what it
talking
actually
about you're talking about a trust issue.
I'm talking about
you don't trust the you don't trust the guidance, which is understandable. And I respect that lack of trust because, in my complaint is that there is a groupthink that because all these things are politicized, and so raising objections is just like saying, you're like a Republican truther or something. Where, everything is politicized. No one is allowed to voice skepticism because there's no such thing as skepticism. It's all politics. I think this is a problem in academia, and that and that includes medical academia and the sciences as well. We were told that trust the science. Well, that's not how science works. It's not about trust.
Exactly right.
Science is about everybody trying to knock down the current best theory, or testing it, and all medical research, of course, is not being defunded. But anyway.
Now, wait a second. Let me ask you a follow-up to that, because I do think my wife using the term "all" may have the word "all" may have. Do you think any medical research has been defunded, Last Dance?
I hope so.
Do you think that?
I hope a lot of medical research has been defunded.
Do you think that crucial cancer research has been defunded at some of the prominent university hospitals in Massachusetts, specifically the Boston area?
I would doubt that, and
You're not sure.
I don't know. I don't know all. I don't have any idea what the cancer research environment.
Well, I'll tell you, it has been affected.
Well, here's the deal. I mean, everybody always wants more federal resources, and there is a limit. So it has to be prioritized, and not all of it can be funded, and not all of it should be funded.
Sarita's peacing out.
All right.
Have a great night.
Bye.
My biggest concern or point is I think that we should be challenging the truth and not just accepting.
But you don't think, see, that this is what I say about trust. You say it's not about trust, but for example, you don't trust that the truth is being challenged.
That's correct. I don't trust, especially for COVID. There's MMR,
it always,
one challenge.
It should always be challenged at all the times. There's a scientific consensus is not something that should ever, be left unchallenged. It's exactly the thing that should be challenged is the consensus. That's not saying that you just, because it's a consensus is wrong. It just is the thing that you should be probing to find the weaknesses in.
What happened when we tried to do that during COVID?
Yeah, it was a disaster. It was
a break of the 1A.
It was met with by Fauci and his merry men as he did everything wrong there.
He did.
He did everything wrong.
Are you willing to give him a pass for the novel aspect of the disease?
Well, I'm going to give him a pass for some things, like his recommendations that changed, but I'm not going to give him a pass for covering up and trying to cover up his own role in funding gain of function research, which includes the development of that coronavirus.
Yes.
I don't believe that it was passed from animals. I believe it was created in the Wuhan Institute of Virology using the ideas of Ralph Baric and funded through mechanisms arranged by Peter Daszak, the Brit, and ultimately funded by Fauci's grants. Through,
but that being said, he's also they've studied and funded a lot of studies for far more deadly diseases. This one happened to be, if it was actually from a lab, then it appears that the biological security level was not high enough for this, possibly.
I think that's true, but it's missing an important point that it's been a long time that the whole idea of modifying viruses to make them more pathogenic was controversial in the community, in the virology community, and there was a split. One side was against doing it for reasons that it might create a virus that kills millions of people. In other words, they worried that something like SARS-CoV-2 would be created.
Right.
And the other side worried, they worried that without doing the research, we wouldn't be prepared for when an actual virus emerged from the wild.
But I don't understand. I don't understand how gain of function. If you can't understand how to deal with the base virus, how gain of function is going to give you more understanding of how to solve the problem.
Well, it lets you experiment with changes that make it more virulent that might happen in nature. Viruses tend to get worse over time.
It's funny though; they tend to get more contagious, and then they tend to get less damaging. They can sustain their existence, which is essentially what happened with COVID. Because right now we're at between 100 and 200 COVID deaths per year.
Yeah, that's
in
true.
The entire 50 states.
Yeah,
that's true. That's between 2 and 4 per state, averaged on a numbers level only. Not
right, and it's probably mostly old people, even still.
Right.
But that's a particular virus. An individual virus might tend to get less virulent over time. But we're talking about new viruses, novel viruses that have popped up, like Ebola and Marburg and
scary stuff.
HIV, but didn't happen in the wild. But there was a concern that novel viruses would pop up and we would be defenseless. We wouldn't know enough to be able to produce defenses, and we would all be wiped out before we could adjust to it. So one side was represented by these other researchers. The other side was the camp that Fauci was in. And there was actually a ban that Obama enacted, banning basically the very thing that and that happened. And Fauci evaded the ban with clever wording, and the same way he said to Rand Paul that we never engaged in gain of function research. He did it by changing the definition of gain of function.
You believe he acted on his own?
Fauci?
Yes.
Well, he certainly had he had lots of cohorts in the community who agreed with him that this research needed to be done. And I think he set up a covert network with Peter Daszak at the one end of it, who, the idea was to fund it without having your fingerprints on it. The idea was to fund things that didn't sound like they were banning, violating the ban that the Obama administration enacted. But they played with fire, and they got burned. They failed. Ooh, the whole country, the world got burned. And then Fauci, when he was caught, covered it up. That's what this the paper, I forget what it's called, this paper was put out that basically, lied. It was a lie, saying that a lab leak was unlikely. This was a result of passage from animals to humans.
Damn pangolias.
Pangolins, right?
Oh, Fauci coming in with he is the modern day angel of death, Mengele. Wow.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that. His results are pretty bad, but his intentions were good. Mengele's intentions were not good.
Where did Mengele get to live for so many years? Was it Argentina?
I think it was Argentina, yeah.
That's where Hitler went, right?
No, Hitler never made it, but
that's where his
Mengele did.
The critter went.
And they found some. It's unbelievable. The German history in some towns you can find down there. The architecture and everything. It's like, whoa.
Mengele lived a quiet life of a retired man, spending hours on the beach. His children visited him.
Until the Mossad found him.
No, he never got found. He died of natural causes. You're thinking of Eichmann.
Oh yeah.
He was found, I don't know which country, Bolivia? I don't know. Maybe Argentina, and spirited back to Israel and tried, convicted, and hanged.
What about, so I've only worked with viruses and virology and such for, 10 years of my life with my family. My father's worked with it for 30 years.
Jesus, only 10 years?
For my grandfather's worked with it for, like 60 years, right before he passed away.
Right.
You have an understanding of how viruses work, right? How can you all of a sudden not understand how viruses work and tell the public absolute bullshit constantly on how to stay safe and what to do? That's what frustrated me drastically. Like
You mean the masks and the 6 feet and all that stuff?
All of it.
That was a strange, bizarre kind of period. I don't really understand why they put that. Did they feel like they had to say something, even if it was going to humiliate them later? I don't know. 6 feet? Where did that shit come from?
I know that I'm just the guy on the panel that distrusts the system, but I really think that they were making fun of the public.
Well, I don't think you should trust the system because
You think making fun or trying to see if they can control the public?
no, I don't. Troll, maybe.
Control.
Not control, just troll. That's what he's saying.
Well,
I think here's what I think happened. I think people like Fauci and others were under incredible pressure to say something to fill that void of that gap, that void of information. And so they'd say nonsensical things, not meaning for them to be taken too seriously. And, it would just be, CBS would just like run with it and CNN would run with it. And, everybody would run with it and it would become front page news and it would be like overnight because everyone was, panicking over COVID. And then it would just be, well, you got to stay 6 feet away. And I was just as gullible as anybody else. I believed all that shit. And I would, I stayed 6 feet away from anybody when I was in a line or anything, and I was
you're not a grandmom killer.
And if someone was
not a super
5.5 feet away from me, I'd give them a dirty look. I was.
You did that?
I did that, absolutely.
Yeah, he would. In Trader Joe's, he would give them death stare to people without masks on.
I love to get those looks from people when we would.
It's funny because I remember
walking the beach in the fresh air with the sea breeze, and these moms would be like glaring at me. I'd be like, get the fuck away from me, fuck you.
Yeah, all this salt, fresh air, and the UV radiation from the sun that kills viruses. But 6 feet, bitch.
Well, I would never say anything, but my look, I hoped would say it all. I mean, give me a break with this shit, dude. It's dumb.
Well, they did lie. By saying things, guidance like that, as if they had some signs to back it up, as if they were definitely true, sure of it, when they were little more than wild ass guesses.
They lied about the vaccine itself.
They lied about the vaccine itself, right? They just
If you take this, you won't ever get it, and you won't be able to spread it.
And you won't be able to spread it. Right.
It was fake. Yeah.
And you only need to get.
I remember being on this panel back in that day, and I was the one that always said I was against it, and people were going after me during that time. I wasn't a whatever called hairway to Steven, no, but
you got it though, because you said you had.
I had it 3 times, but I'm
had somebody important in your life you wanted to visit.
Yeah, well, I wasn't allowed. I was restricted to go see him unless I got the shot.
And got it.
I measured it at that time, and at that moment, yeah, I took it for that.
That's
remember we were told that the vaccine would be good for 6 months.
Oh yeah, and then you need another one. Now you need another one.
The immunity after like 2 months at most falls off very rapidly. So then they said, okay, you got to get it every 4 months. And even then, it's like it's good for 2 months, and then after the next 2 months is the immunity, begins to wane significantly. So, I mean, it was oversold. And I think by people who knew they were overselling it. They were saying things they knew weren't true to get more people to take the vaccine. And to me, I could see their public health position. It's good to get people to take the vaccine, but you can't win that game. No, you won't. People will know you're lying eventually, and you've spent all your trust. You can't get it back that easily. I don't trust them. I don't trust them anymore. This is why I said, Susan, whatever her name is, it's if she's sincere and not didn't politicize this, I might believe her, but I don't trust anybody anymore.
Is the CDC government funded? Like, who gets to choose who becomes the
It
CEO?
is the government. It's a government agency.
Yes.
Who gets to decide who the CEO is of the
Well,
CDC?
the director is decided by the president,
Okay,
right? I assume.
I don't know.
See, the president gets to appoint these people, but some of them, I don't know, their structure set up by Congress says they can't be fired. They have to be only fired for cause. So they're not necessarily political appointees per se. I don't know. The details are important, and I don't know them.
Just like the guy that's
Appointed by
in
the
the
president.
Federal Reserve, he can't be fired.
Jerome Powell.
It's sort of a semi-independent agency. I don't know whether a lot of these can't
I
be
don't think
fired.
Jerome
before cause.
Powell has done a
Jerome
bad
Powell.
job.
No, I'm sure he's done. I don't see any evidence that he's done anything that for partisan purposes. As far as I can tell, he's independent. He does standard monetary policy. Trying to balance inflation with economic growth. It looks like just every other Fed governor. That doesn't mean that there should be a Fed, but it's clear to me that Trump wants to fire him because he wants to, for political purposes, he wants to have somebody take over the Fed, loosen the money supply, lower interest rates to goose the economy, which
Define
could
goose.
help him. And the Fed would do that if they were sure it wouldn't cause inflation to go up.
What do you mean by goose the economy?
Well, by lowering interest rates that the Fed charges to banks, interest rates downstream all get lower too. Money
Right,
becomes
so
cheaper.
RW,
more loans
a
are
lot of
created,
people-
houses are bought, and so on.
RW, a lot of people had home equity loans that were based on the Fed, and now their loans are high because the interest rate is high. So, like, if you can lower people's home equity borrowing loan interest rate that they're paying on, it's good. I think economics is the foremost motivator for voting, and usually the result
Thanks.
of the
Thanks,
winner
Bob. Yeah.
is economics.
Well, it also, but even more important than that, it lowers mortgage rates for even first-time buyers, which means
That's
people
only initial mortgage rates, so it doesn't lower the current established mortgage rate that somebody has unless they have a
No,
very
that's true. That's true. But by lowering initial mortgage rates, more people will be able to afford. More people will be able to enter the housing market. The bottom on who can afford it will be lowered, so more people will be able to afford it, and there'll be a boom in housing and construction. Job growth and economic growth will proceed from there. The issue is that inflation would likely also increase. So the Fed tries to balance inflation and economic growth. And
So that's the pro versus the con. If they lower their interest rate, then inflation will go up.
That's the concern. Yes.
Why does that correlate? How does that work?
Inflation occurs when, when there's money is
More money.
devalued, basically, when more money enters the economy, more cash enters the economy. So
it's not related to supply and demand.
it is, but in a cash kind of way.
Cash value goes up, metal goes down. And then when cash value goes down, metal goes up. Right now, metal is up.
I need to go and take my scraps in now then.
But that's going to flip real soon. Cash is going to go up.
So here's what the Fed will do if they're nonpartisan. When inflation rate appears to be low and steadily low, then they are likely to lower the interest rate of their loans. But they don't do it based on 1 month of low inflation. They want to see persistent low inflation, and then they will, lower the interest rate by a quarter point, 0.25%. And then they'll let that go and see how that happens for a few months. If inflation starts to spike, then they might raise it back again. If inflation doesn't spike, then they'll wait for a while, and then maybe they'll lower it another quarter point. They don't make quick moves.
Here's an economics 101 question. What happens if there's no usury, no interest rate for the loans, and you simply pay back 1-to-1 what you borrow? Why does there have to be a usury charge?
Why would you loan otherwise if you weren't going to make money?
Because you print money. You're the guys that create money.
Well, no, they have to at least have the perception of a enterprise that's going to make money, so
Why?
they have to charge interest. Well, then everybody else wouldn't. The whole fucking economy would crash. You have to charge interest. It's just how loans work.
But my point is, why is currency of a nation a business model instead of a substance that's created by that government?
Well, because you have to adhere to the laws of economics and trade.
If you want to know what happens, you could look at other countries that printed money to fund themselves, and the inflation just follows inevitably.
I can understand regulation and releasing it in ways that you're trying to balance inflation to keep a steady economy without breaking down. But for the US currency to be a corporate business that we interact with, and it's not really our currency, I just think that's an interesting system.
You mean the Federal Reserve?
Right.
Yeah, it is an interesting system. Not some question the whole constitutionality of the notion of an independent Federal Reserve. I mean, there's only 3 branches of government in the Constitution: the executive, the legislative, and the judicial.
And they all run with money, right?
Huh?
And they all run on money.
Yeah, but there's not a 4th branch called the Federal Reserve, which is somehow independent of the other 3. It's either an executive branch or a legislative branch. Now, the Congress created the Fed, I guess, with features of independence, as they've done for other agencies too that are quasi-independent, but nobody's really sure that a lot of these have not really been tested in court. So when Trump decides to fire Jerome Powell, it'll be, I'm sure Powell will sue him to saying that he doesn't have that power. And the Supreme Court will have to take that case. They won't be able to ignore it, and they'll decide, if the nominal independence that supposedly the Fed has is indeed constitutional or not.
Well, it's going to be an interesting one. Quickly to answer your question, Topple, the CDC, the director of the CDC is appointed by the president, but has to have consent of the Senate.
Okay. So they're appointed, but the only way the president can't just fire that person, though. Does it have to go through the Senate for that too?
Well,
My
if
understanding is that the person's not resigning who they fired because of that question. So I don't know the answer personally.
Okay.
If they appoint them, I assume they have the power to fire them without cause, just for shits and grins.
Without Senate approval?
Oh no, you don't need the Senate approval to fire somebody.
Oh, really?
Yep, really.
I thought that was the big thing with the guy from the federal or the where call it.
The Fed?
Yeah.
Jerome Powell. I don't know. I think I think he can only be fired for cause.
Okay.
I believe. Or that's the theory.
Two more things I want to go ahead, Steve.
All right, 2 more things. Let's keep going.
Just before I lose you.
Just one more little thing. Sorry. Trump did fire a board member of the Federal Reserve, Lisa Cook. Is that her name? Recently.
Wouldn't that have been brought into question?
Well, he claimed to do it for cause because she's associated with some financial irregularities. She's claimed 2 different residences as her primary residence for mortgage purposes, supposedly. So he claimed to fire her for cause, and if you believe those stories, it sounds like he does have cause.
But even if he has cause, if the Federal Reserve is a private entity, it would still be overreach.
I don't know that it's not a private entity. It's quasi-governmental.
How many people do you think were scrambling to figure out if they had done that too? 'Cause I would think that
they got caught for doing that.
I think everybody understands that you only have one primary residence. Even I understand it.
What does primary mean again? One?
It's the one you live in, basically.
Well, you have to, if you want to save a ton of money, you put your primary residence as Florida.
Yeah, but you can't have, if the IRS, you have to pick one as your primary residence.
Yeah.
And for that, you get to deduct your mortgage.
But you would have to live in that house the majority of the year, correct?
6 months.
Yeah, but you
Okay.
can't, whatever, even if you lie about which one's your primary residence, for sure, you can't declare 2 different properties as simultaneously your primary residence.
So at the highest financial economy entity in the United States, you had an individual on the board that didn't understand that simple concept?
Well, the thing that everybody understands, the chief, of course, understood that. She's just cheating.
Playing the game.
Right. Possibly evading taxes, possibly other issues. Those are allegations, right? Those are crimes, so they would have to be proven.
Would you consider this to be, last dance, a case of, she broke the law, or on the other side, let's stick it to her, we can get her?
Oh, I bet it's both.
Both.
I bet it's both. I think we'll stick it to anybody. We'll stick it to anybody we can. Oh, look, here's somebody who's done something. Looks like they broke the law. Let's use that and let's stick it to them.
All right.
Only when they're going to run for president, though.
So that's the thing. If you have to be squeaky clean if you want to escape political retribution, because they could always claim it's not political retribution. And if you've got skeletons in your closet, if you've cheated, you can't be a board member on the Federal Reserve if you've been cheating, on your taxes or violating mortgage law.
Like she even would need money. Holy shit.
She's sitting on trillions of dollars.
A pile of money.
But I believe she has sued to retain her job, so that should be fun.
Why would they? Anyway. I just want to quickly do these two things. One is that since the Minnesota shooter, RFK is going to launch studies into SSRIs for their potential contribution of violent acts.
What is that?
What's
Selective
antidepressant.
serotonin reuptake inhibitors.
There you go.
There's two really common ones I think you guys heard of. I think I think that would be Prozac and Abilify.
I don't know about Abilify. Prozac, Lexapro, Paxil. There's like 6 or 7 well-known SSRIs.
I think it's a worthwhile study, personally.
Abilify might be one of them. It doesn't ring a bell.
What's the study based on? What are they looking for?
The shooter caused them to either cause them to want to perform studies or fast-tracked the need for studies into SSRIs.
It's almost impossible because there aren't enough mass shooters to perform statistical analysis.
You should be able to still get data of some sort on with a controlled study of people's inclinations and thought patterns on and off those drugs.
Well, we'll see.
As for other ideologies that they may have, I don't know if they're going to add those into the study. I think that would cause a major shitstorm.
Mm-hmm.
SSRIs are already hard to prove because the theory behind them used to be something called the serotonin hypothesis. And that has been seriously thrown into question, if not disproven, by recent studies. So, it's already a bit of black magic.
Uh-oh. Well, some people will be into that.
I mean, some studies show that particularly for mild cases of depression, things like exercise and diet and so forth, almost, if not as effective as reducing depression as SSRIs. They do seem to be effective for people with major or severe depression. So,
wait, so you're saying that lifestyle and diet affect the mind and the body?
Yes, and more specifically, people who report mild depression report that lifestyle changes can alleviate it.
Amen, brother. I don't know if the peer reviews will agree with you, but I agree with you 100%.
Well, I think a lot of psychiatrists also are pushing that to, some doctors just want the money, but most doctors want their patients to be healthy with the minimum amount of drugs. So
I respect those people. I have not met many of them personally.
See, one problem is that unlike other doctors, psychiatrists have to rely on patient testimony. There's no blood test to tell you how depressed you are. Can't take a temperature. There's nothing to measure that.
I know, but when you go to the doctor, you would think they'd be asking questions about like lifestyle, like, oh, do you drink energy drinks all day and don't sleep for days and watch really
good doctors certainly do all that. They know, this is a science. So they have all kinds of questions that they ask to basically to determine what your symptoms are, what's your potential for self-harms.
So on the psyche level, but let's say you're going to the doctor because you don't feel well. I know that they ask you, do you smoke and how much do you drink?
And they ask you how much you exercise.
Broaden that a little bit.
Yeah, my doctors, if I complain about something, she asks me the obvious questions. Are you, if I say I'm not sleeping well, how much caffeine do you take? How much exercise are you getting? Is there stress in your life? I mean, she's trying to find, all the things that are relevant in your lifestyle before she starts discussing medication. And that's true for most doctors because any medication carries risk, and doctors are all about trading risks and benefits. And I take this I take this pill for
Is it blue?
no, I never mind. No comment. But this is for heart medication. It's called I don't know. It's called an ACE inhibitor. I forget what ACE means. Angiotensin something. But I was experiencing cough, persistent cough last spring, and my doctor said, "Well, this ACE inhibitor, it does give you some protection from heart attack, but it's also known occasionally some people are allergic to it and they start coughing. Coughing is a common. Once you stop taking it for a while, it's a little bit of a risk, but it's small, and I think it's worth trying. So I stopped taking it for a few months. My cough did go away, but not right away, and not even after a month. So I stopped, and then I started again, and I haven't been coughing since I started again. So it was probably just a flu or a virus that was hanging around. Oh, I know what I got. I got RSV, and
Nice.
I just, even though all my symptoms went away except my cough, it just stuck around. It was just forever.
Right. Steve's passing out. I'll share. Bruce Willis is now he's been sent to
Nursing
a nursing home. Basically, he can't speak anymore. He can't walk anymore. He can't. He's basically on his way out.
That
So
makes
just
me.
give him a bit of respect, despite what kind of person he is or whatever. I think I really like his movies, and just
I
give him
agree
some-
too, and it makes me sad. I remember him from that TV show with Sybil Shepherd way back when. That's when I first got to know who Bruce Willis was. I had no idea who he was before then.
I'm not familiar with the TV show.
Moonlighting? Was that what it was called? Moonlighting,
I'm
I
not-
think was the name of the TV show. Bruce Willis and Sybil Shepherd. But from there, he went into these movies, and he was the perfect guy for the action adventure movie.
Right.
Kind of
He fit the bill.
defined that role, I think, and I was sorry to see that he got sick. And
Yeah.
Moonlighting. Thank you so
For anybody
much.
to go out that way, whether they're a famous actor or not, it's just you're basically the living dead. It's a sad dream.
Yes, I had a friend that went that way.
The last one is Kamala Harris's Secret Service details being reneged.
Yes, smoke wife.
Do you think that she's in risk of losing her life, or is anyone going to bother?
Why is she being? Why is her Secret Service detail being removed?
Well, it was enhanced, or it was extended under Biden quietly, and it's already past its normal period of time, and so they're pulling it. They're not honoring Biden's auto pen. I mean,
Yeah, that bothers me. Not because I think she's entitled to it forever, but I just think this is almost certainly Trump's pettiness.
Yep.
Being used to get back at his enemies, which is, I think, lowly. I really do. It's just
why was it extended though? Why do you think Kamala's? Why was she chosen special for extended?
I think times are different than they were 75 years ago.
Usually, vice
Emotions
gets
run
6 months.
high. I think that they should be extended for years. After
Just
their,
blanket.
yeah, because they're under threat. That people still believe that Biden stole the election, for example, in 2020.
Well, not
People
personally.
believe. No, but Biden,
No, I'm just giving shit.
yeah. I wouldn't give her the credit. She's not smart enough for. But no, I do. I think it's just pettiness. It's just Trump there's no bounds or limits to his pettiness.
The one thing that stands out for me that disagrees with that statement, and I'm not saying he's not petty. Motherfucker's got a huge ego. Hillary Clinton wasn't taken down. He didn't go after it. If he wanted to be petty, he sure as hell could have gone after that.
He had no grounds to go after her, I guess.
What? I mean, yeah, I don't know what his grounds would be, but one thing you have to
Legally,
the server smashing event.
She
Well,
wasn't.
here's one issue. Trump was different in his first term. He wanted to wanted to try and fit in somehow. In this term, right? That's exactly. So in this term, it's been a different Trump. But
I can understand because since he's been out of office, the only thing they've been trying to do is keep him from getting back into office.
I would be, if there were any criminal charges against Hillary, it's almost certainly.
But there are.
The statute of limitations has expired.
No,
yes,
with Russiagate.
Russiagate.
Well,
there's still revelations that the story's not over there.
Is that within limitation?
I mean, that's what Tulsi Gabbard and so on are, revealing.
Yeah.
I haven't seen anything that's a smoking gun, but it's pretty clear that, well, I'm not even sure it's a crime. I mean, it's sleazy, but it's clear that the Trump campaign, the Clinton campaign basically engineered the whole Russiagate hoax from one end to the other.
It's treason.
How is
Not
that
treason.
shady?
Huh?
How is
Why
that
would it be-
like where's the line? Like if you're using the government, if you're using government tax money to manipulate and slander and destroy opportunity for the next person that's your opponent,
Good night,
how is
Mr.
that
E.
not a cross?
Not everything that's bad is illegal. I mean, that's the bottom line.
I'm glad
Even-
I'm not in that system.
She has. It'd be hard. I like the fact that they're bringing information out now. I think transparency is all to the good. I don't really care if they, if eventually they indict her or if they don't. If they have evidence and they can present it. But I do like the fact that a lot of questions that we all had are now being, some of these details are being
slowly
brought out. I don't care if they're being done for partisan reasons. I just want to know what happened, how the Russiagate stuff, how it percolated behind the scenes. So we're getting emails, and they're not good, but they're not the smoking guns that some writers are saying they are.
But what about the concept that material existed for years? Known.
Yeah.
Do you think it just
Well,
sat
so
on
what do
some
you
server
mean?
somewhere and nobody knew about it? Or did they know about it and they just didn't?
Here's the thing. We don't know who saw what. There were investigations and people saw classified documents that they didn't report on, but they knew about. Some of them are being reviewed for classification and being declassified. The stuff I've seen doesn't look sensitive in any way in terms of national defense information. So, I see a few names redacted, like on the email list, but that could have happened at any time in the past. So part of it is that I don't know why this stuff wasn't released way back when it was first reviewed, or maybe it was hidden. I like the idea that it's being reviewed, looked at, and brought out. One of the big things is that it looks like, some people are saying Obama actually ordered the whole Russiagate hoax because there was a intelligence community estimate about the Russian impact and efforts in the election, particularly cybersecurity, and it kind of went in. There was no consensus that there was any impactful Russian attacks, and then an email came out from Brennan saying that President Obama wants you to rethink this and review it, and then it changed. There was this suddenly Russia was trying to hack election systems. This was the claim, and there were other emails and testimony that when Brennan, there was a lot of pushback on this it's behind closed doors. There's a lot of pushback on this assessment. And Brennan was quoted as, someone said, well, there's just no evidence. And Brennan was quoted as saying, but it rings true, doesn't it?
It's
So that's
poetic
kind of,
speculation.
he wants it to be true. It's kind of it's almost circular reasoning.
Yeah, no, that's a hot pile of garbage, really.
Yeah. So
you're expecting accountability in some way, shape, or form, but the way you're saying it almost sounds like you're not, and you just want to hear what you can hear.
no, I think accountability is unlikely, but just having the information out there is good. It'll be out there for history. People can write books. They can do their own research. When people argue about Russiagate, other people who are, can point to these documents and say, well, this contradicts your narrative. This is Matt Taibbi is kind of the main focal point for kind of piecing this all together and kind of showing where it starts and how it wends its way through.
Fair enough. He's an interesting character. I definitely have trust issues when it comes to any information that's released. It's hard for me to tell the difference between fabricated propaganda and actual leaked information.
Absolutely. And even then, what isn't released, right? That could change your view of what was released. Everything needs context, and selectively releasing things can be used to mislead. It can actually lead you to conclude the wrong thing. One of my favorite Simpsons episodes was one of the Halloween episodes with Kang and Kodos, and it starts out. Lisa finds a book and it says "How to Cook Humans."
Yum.
And she, they accuse the aliens of basically trying to fatten them up so they could cook them. And she shows in the book, it says "How to Cook Humans," and then he blows on it, and a word shows up, "How to Cook for Humans." But then Lisa blows on it, and it says "How to Cook 40 Humans." And then the alien blows on, and it says "How to Cook for 40 Humans." So, a little bit of information could change the whole focus completely 180 degrees.
But we only know the deal DOSer during that time period anyway with Trump. So,
yeah.
We've had a week of a lot of information, a lot of news. A couple weeks before that, I feel, are pretty quiet, and I guess we'll never know what's going to happen by the time the next pub rolls around. But the United States is barreling ahead full speed, I think, and hopefully everybody can stay safe and financially well, so that we're not absolutely bottomed out.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I guess that's my closing statement.
Statement.
I don't think anybody would disagree with you on that one.
I hope not. If they do, man, you dark soul.
Well, I'm going to say that's a good way to end the stream if everybody's done saying what they want to say.
Thanks, chat. I'll back out and wait for the final
that
word.
Reminds me, English Bottle Cap brings up something. I think Trump should have pardoned Julian Assange. It's true that he reached a plea agreement with the Biden administration, but that still restricts his rights here. I think Trump should pardon him for everything that he has agreed to plead guilty to.
I'm surprised he didn't do it.
So that he may visit the United States without restriction and so on. So he's entitled to the same rights as any other Australian.
I'm surprised
but he hasn't done that.
First term. Not even the first term. I was kind of surprised about that. That was a big push.
But I mean, Biden did some interesting pardons right before his end. I'd be surprised if Trump waits to the very last second just so the target on his back isn't any bigger.
he's
He can't
already
run again
it's his last
unless-
term. He's not going to worry about being reelected.
Well,
And not so much
he
reelection.
is going to
but
get.
in
He's going to
general.
run again.
I was about to say, Hank says we're going to have Trump. We're not going to have another election. So
Yeah. So I guess nobody. I don't know what goes on in pardon conversation, but I suppose nobody cares about Julian Assange since he's no longer facing charges.
I mean, he's not trending. In our society, if they're not trending, it's they've forgotten. Us.
Aphid Lip, if you want to come on, we'll talk a little bit. But if
I
you're
want to
done,
hear about where he just ate some buffet or something.
oh, smoke wife, come on! There's no Republicans on Grindr.
These two other Republicans.
They own it. They're not.
I
On
have a Grinder account. I was seeing who in my neighborhood could be possibly on it.
Yeah,
That's the only reason. That's the only reason.
You
His
just
screen
thought
name
it
was my player.
was heavy grinding equipment. You didn't realize it.
Well, I'm on the T app too, Smoke Steve wife.
Tender?
Now the T app or whatever the hell that one that got exposed for women that go in there and bitch about guys. It got hacked and all their info is out there now for everyone to see.
This is a good one. They
Crash the app door in there. That is factual.
Oh, I still remember Larry Craig. Was that his name? The Idaho senator 10, 15, 20 years ago who was wrongly arrested, but for remember the tapping on the floor in the men's restroom at the airport in Idaho, and he was arrested for.
Was he just listening to some music on the toilet and they grabbed him?
That's what he should have said, but instead he pled guilty to some lesser charge,
Oh man.
so that he hoped it would just nobody would know about it.
Was he trying to do a George Michaels?
Well, obviously he was trying to arrange gay sex for himself, but he
Gay
denied
sex
he was-
arranges itself. Last Dance.
Well, yeah, that's what a few taps on the floor apparently, and you're good. Was it in O'Hare? I thought it was in somewhere in Idaho. Hell, I've been in the O'Hare airport many times. I've been in the bathrooms many times.
That's too much information for me, buddy.
You know, you're not. I'm not done giving out information. I used to live in Greenbelt, Maryland, and there's kind of a huge park there called Greenbelt Park. That's not a national park, but it's run by the Interior Department of the United States. And it was free, so I used to on Sunday mornings I used to get the newspaper, the Washington Post, like a liberal, cup of coffee, some bagels. I used to drive into the park there, read the paper, drink coffee, and there'd always be someone else there in a car, maybe 200 feet away. There's always a guy, and they'd always be staring me down. I never quite understood it, Then I read in the Washington Post one day that there were arrests made for, people having sex in the park, men having sex in the park.
It was a John.
Yeah, so I stopped going.
Bathhouse in Maryland.
It ruined the park experience for me.
You know what the nickname for the DuPont Circle is in DC, right?
I know what DuPont Circle is, yeah.
You don't know what the
What's the
nickname for it is?
nickname?
Oh, I used to know it. I forgot though.
The Fruit Loop.
Okay. Well,
To each their own.
Exactly.
And I will leave it on that instead. That's way better than my last one.
All right, guys. Let's say goodnight to everyone. Take it easy, Topple, and
Have a great
goodbye.
weekend, guys.
Yeah,
Good
you
night,
too.
chat.
All right. Thank you to everybody who showed up tonight. And even though we had some unpleasant interactions with some people, I love them all, even the ones I yell at. So thank you for all of them for coming on. And our chatters they keep me laughing all the time, and they keep us honest, and I appreciate everything they say. So good night to all. Hope to see you all back next week. Bring your friends and have a great week. Take it easy.